What's up, everybody? Thursday coming at you here, 1:46 p.m. Eastern Standard on the dial. And we are back. We are back in a big way and stacked. As you can see the inside of the unicorn on display here. Let's get that out of here. But I do want to say that the unicorn content continues. And more people are sharing their connection with the unicorn, which I feel is going to bring us closer to the end of this arc that we're in right now, okay? And let me show you what I mean. I literally, this time, yesterday I said a joke. I had image inside of the unicorn. actually do this time. Okay, so this is something you can get at the Unicorn. It's a kind of drink or something, but this is legitimately something that happened. All right, this is a real picture from inside the Unicorn, and we're gonna start with that because it's very impactful, very meaningful, and very hype. You ready? Here it is. Come on, get over here. So this is something available at the Unicorn. You can wear the horn. I mean, that's pretty cool. And this is pretty fun. I mean, this is, I feel like this is what we need for the winner of the Ka-Ching of the Ring. You know what I'm saying? But this is actually inside of the Unicorn. A lot of reviews say it's a very fun place. So we're definitely getting there someday. Do not worry. Do not worry. All right. So we are in day number 4, my friends, of hyperfixating and wildly speculating. And yeah, no lore stream today. Didn't feel really like it was up for it, and real work is kind of getting me too. So it felt like a good time to just get back to this, because I think this is where the attention is. This is where the hype is. And this is what we're all here for, is not looking too much into the past, but wondering what's happening in the present. Okay? And today I have many videos, or let's say speculations about how DSP will end. I thought it'd be fun to watch those, because who knows what's going on right now. I will go through the story real quick, super fast run through this time. And of course, the messages are open. We do have a lot to get through from yesterday. I didn't get to, though, too, so I probably won't get to all of them, but messages link is down below if you want to send your theory, or how your theory might be changing over time, because I think that's really what's happening here, is that the longer it goes, I think the more options arise and things we could never even guess. But it also helps us eliminate a lot, too, because I think Nothing Burger is now officially done, right? Are we ready to say that's one's done? Not just done, but done, right? I think that's probably where we should put that. So in terms of updates from what happened from this tweet, there hasn't been any, okay? So this is the last tweet he has done, okay? And it says, one more time, all due to unforeseen circumstances, I am unable to stream today. I have no estimate for when I will be able to stream again, so please stay tuned here for updates. I do hope to return as soon as possible, so stay tuned, and thanks for understanding, okay? Yesterday we went through and looked to see that it definitely was a tweet from DSP, as he has done many in the past that are just like that. He also did a post on YouTube, which now is up to 76 comments. Again, these are getting moderated. That doesn't mean it is him moderating them, but they are getting moderated. Okay, that's all I can say. Also, in terms of the bans, okay, the bans on Kick, the last ban from DSP Gaming still sits at Konnichiwa Chu from the 5th. Okay, that was the last ban that DSP did, which was during the marathon. All right, so there we go. The last move from DSP was saying Konnichiwa Chu, banning Konnichiwa Chu, excuse me. I do want to say big ups to Enjoy the Unicorn. Phil was banned yesterday. So someone's trying to get some unicorn hype going. Didn't get far, but you tried. And then the last one was banned yesterday was, today was the 10-year scam. These are all banned by people not named DSP, though. All right, not named DSP. Do want to show some scuttlebutt here that I saw on Twitter earlier. This user named Morel529 is saying, as we've seen before, though, Comcast finished their network upgrade repairs in his area as of 6 a.m. this morning. We should hear from Filbert about a return today or tomorrow. My suspicions that Comcast being a tractor are the cause of all of this. That was at 10:42 a.m. today, 3 hours ago. I highly doubt that this is what it's going to be. 5 days off is no joke. You could also say, well, maybe he took that opportunity to go cross-country. Philip is not going cross-country in that short of a span. He's not that, let's say, spontaneous. Let's say. So I do not think at all that this is actually the cause, but there we go. That's one person's theorizing, all right? It's good to have theories. All theories are good theories, right? This is funny, just a funny thing, as usual, from him, from Poems Past. We have a new schedule update. This one is in the new schedule, okay, guys? So this is just get ready for this schedule, which is all days off. A lot of exclamation points, but there is still days off, so that's the new schedule. Also, we have, this was funny too, Where in the World is Phil Burnell? And now we're, entering a time where, this is fifth days, the fifth day, right? So we go Saturday off, Sunday off, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? So what was the last streaming day? Was Friday, yeah. So we're talking Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and here we are on Thursday. We're extending the streak for the longest span of no streaming, and obviously the speculations are going to get crazier from here because the more possibilities there are. We just know it's serious, right? We know it's serious at this point because it can't be something stupid. Well, who knows? It might be, what the fuck do I know? But the longer it goes, the less chance it is something stupid, right? But everyone's still having fucking fun, so that's for sure. Tonight will be the Detractor Beam. I'll be on there with Decepticon tonight. Tomorrow will be That Being Said. I'll do a nice and long playlist for you tomorrow to enjoy. And then we'll do That Being Said, where we'll kind of wrap up the week that was. In this, we need a good name for this arc, though, don't we? Right? Like, it just doesn't have a name yet, but we need one. But I think it will be defined by the ending, right? Sometimes the ending is what defines what an arc is called, right? So we'll see about that. But tomorrow will be That Being Said. Saturday will be, what will Saturday be? I can't even fucking remember. But Sunday will definitely be a game show style show at 7:30 p.m. on WPIG. So the schedule segment is done. The Void Arc. Oh, yeah. The Void Arc. Then one day we'll have all this. We'll get, okay. Don't get me down that fan fiction idea, okay? I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop right there. Stop myself right there. Big ups, Mr. Extravagant says, what's the knockoff Devil Went Down to Georgia bullshit? Big up, Snood. Sucks. So that song was not really on theme, but I just liked it. So that's it. That's what happens when I'm the musical director. I can choose the songs, and I just like that song. The Vanishing. I just thought that song sounded perfect, like an intro to a show. So I say, you know what? Play it. But I didn't put it on the playlist. If you want to get to the official intro playlist, it is on Spotify still. What's it called? Yeah. There we go. If you want to get all the songs that are played on the intro. But that song isn't on it because it doesn't count. Fictitious in the House says, we've all glanced over the most likely scenario. Grandpa Minecrafted Dave so he can play more Death Stranding. Oh, me doing that. That could be. That could be. You never know. You never know. I just want to keep doing this style of show. So I say, Philip, you're going to need to take another day. We're having a lot of fun over here, all right? I'm thinking of a Monday return. Make it bombastic, okay? Make it seem like everything was on the line. Make it seem like this is your hero story, okay, Dave? Yep, Monday, all right? Don't put out the tweet until Sunday, okay? Thank you. No, that's not true. Channel says, Rambo told him Project 7, it's now or never. All right, my first push of the day. Oh, no. I got to give one to Fictitious first. Okay. Fictitious said, Grandpa Minecrafted Dave so he can play more Death Stranding. First of the day. There we go. Channel says, Rambo told him Project 7, it's now or never. Happy to do it. I should have brought up my exes for this, but I did not bring them up yet. They're in the other stupid thing. Anyways, I could do this, I guess. Want to see something wild? Want to break all the rules, guys? Here, we're breaking all the rules. We're breaking all the rules. Ready? There you go. There's the X's for you. Get out of here. That was the wrong scene. I got the X's on a different scene. I can't bring them over now. It's too much work. Dark Wolf in the house says, big ups for Who Framed Roger Rabbit thumbnail. Big ups, Dark Wolf. I spent a little bit of time on that one. I was trying to get a good one with obviously trying to get a good one with Jessica Rabbit, but they all came out too thirsty. Even for me, there's a limit, right? You know, once you get Jessica Rabbit into the situation, it all looks like clickbait, doesn't it? So I went against Jessica Rabbit, went for the Hogan leg, and I feel that works better for the comedy, but not, for the horniness. But it's okay. You can always do that later, right? Tricorder Transmission says, I've told that story before. We're not doing any Jessica Rabbit stories, but I still remember seeing that movie for the first time, and I knew that scene was, I didn't know what it was, but I knew that scene was like the world stopped for a second. And I was definitely too young to know what I even liked, but the world stopped. And I don't think I blinked for 2 minutes. And then after it was over, I was like, I don't know. I don't know what that was, but I will be rewinding this VHS later. But I did tell, no one knew at that time. I waited till my parents went to sleep. Tricorder Transmission says, if it was internet, he'd be bitching endlessly on X. That's what I say too. That's what I say. That's what means all this, nothing burger and other things like that means that it can't be internet. That's just too easy, right? Too easy. Mr. Extravagant again says, maybe Linda heard about the new 20-year plan and told him he's holding the inheritance hostage till he successfully gets a real job. All right, that's easy. Big us, Mr. Extravagant. All right, let's get to our first. One theory I did see out in the wild that I wanted to talk about that is not on our list. Let's say it's not on our list, but it has been mentioned, but it's not on our list. So I want to offer it up to, should we put this on the list? Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Should this be on the list? All right, so get out of here, Edge. All right, so what I'm going to talk about here is the theory that our most popular, most probable theory right now is parents. But, is it now more likely that the parents are visiting him? Okay, now I wrote it yesterday already, so there we go. But let me add a little bit more smoke on that fire, okay? So, if they visited him, now you'd think, well, why does he need to say that? Well, now he can't exactly say that because of how recently, even Philip knows it's a bad idea to say the following, to say, my parents visited me, so I didn't want to talk about it because trolls might ruin it. When he said how many times and how recently that his parents are too old to travel. That won't look too good. Even he knows that, right? So he would not say they were there. I think he would just hide that, right? And maybe after they leave, he would try to explain it away. But I think he would wait until they're gone to say that. I don't think he would stream if his parents were there. I don't, Vikes. I don't. I think that's too much of a risk at this point, right? I think streaming with his parents at his house at this point is now too much of a risk for him. Because any window into how he lives down there would be, it's not going to project him in a positive light, if you know what I'm saying. So, what if his parents have to sit through a stream of his now in 2025? He doesn't want them to hear that. He doesn't want them to hear what a stream sounds like. Their son doing a stream. Are you crazy? Can you imagine? Or he could just turn off the begging for a few days too, which is what he probably would do. But I think visiting him is of equal chance in my mind to him visiting them. I'll say 50-50. 50-50. Okay, let's get a theory from the wild. We have the one, the only, the legend himself, Blue Collar Streamer. Go ahead, Blue Collar Streamer. What you got for us? Start us off on a high note. If you don't, you're done.
Do you think it's possible that he may have received an intervention from his family and possibly had to go to some sort of rehab for a short time for gambling or alcoholism? Well, not an alcoholic, but a heavy drinker. Just a far shot, because they said no estimate for when he would be back. I feel like if he was visiting Connecticut, he would have at least a rough estimate, saying he's just taking the week off or be back in 2 weeks max. Just an idea.
Yeah, I think if it was a rehab style thing, Okay, but if it, okay, let's entertain this from Blue Collar Streamer. I did X him, but let's fully debunk this puppy. Let's pretend for a second that they did do that. Right? They did do that. It's just funny to think about, because why wouldn't they do that until this point? But let's say they finally pulled together and said, no, this is the time. This is the time to do it. I just don't, it's so ridiculous. And Philip has to, what is he exactly rehabbing from, right? There's a lot of options. You can't just go in there and say, fix it all, right? I think you got to go in there with more of a plan, don't you? I've never been to rehab, so I can't say. But I don't know. I think if they would have done that, they would have already done that, right? Guys, I'm going to rehab. Hi, I'm Philip. Hi, Philip. I'm a former alcoholic and also mobile game player. Oh, rehab takes your phone, so there you go. Well, it depends on the rehab, right? I'm sure there's some rehabs for like small things, like I don't know. There's some rehabs that I'm sure leave you have your phone. But okay, anyways. Good start, Blue Collar Streamer. That's something that hasn't been brought up yet. That is not impossible, but extremely, extremely, extremely low chance of happening. That's why you got the X. Okay? Let's go. Shadow Slammer, go.
Hey, bub. I heard DSP here. Where DSP cam on at, bub? Bub, snood no play marble rival, bub. Fuck snood. Bub, I need wheelchair charge and Indrid step on me, bub.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Jade. Jade with the update wants some stepping. Okay, so there we go. Please take care of that, Indrid. He wants the stepping. Empty Zach, go.
Okay, so I just think he's in Connecticut. It was the planned trip, just like he told PPP about.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think anyone died, and don't believe him that anyone is sick, though that is possible. But I just think he went to visit his parents, but he was never going to tell people ahead of time that's what he was doing in fear of his flights or travel plans being messed with.
Mm-hmm.
This is the trip he was supposed to take, but it took a little bit longer to get his real ID. I always thought it was ridiculous that he would only take 2 days off to go to Connecticut. Not even DSP is that stupid, since he would only get to spend like 7 hours with his parents after you factor in waiting at the airport and traveling and everything. That would be such a huge waste of money, and I don't even think he would do that. My theory was always that he would do exactly what he's doing. Take 2 scheduled days off, then make something up to say he couldn't stream while he's in Connecticut. So that's what I'm going with.
Ooh, Empty Zach. Coming in hot here. Well thought out. Speaks well. No X coming from me. And that makes sense, right? So 2 days is what he started with. Now, 2 days going to Connecticut sounds insane, right? You got to you got to fly 7.5 hours to see your parents and then fly back 7.5 hours. In 2 days? For dying parents? Seems too short. I do counter that by saying Philip has done some short trips in the past before, but yeah, 2 days is insane to anybody. So Empty Zach is saying this was a planned extension. A planned extension. So he knew, correct me if I'm wrong, Empty Zach, but you're saying he knew when he left it was going to be more than 2 days, but the 2 days was just a front. All right, Empty Zach. Started off strong. Paula Burrow says, and Vikes in the house here, 0%. Look at the final video, and I did show that yesterday. I'm not going to play it again, but he did say, hopefully I come back refreshed on Monday, and he did laugh. But I think it was just him laughing like I don't know. I don't know why that would lead to it being less possible or more possible, right? I don't know. But we did show it yesterday. I'm not showing it again. But he is weird, and he's just a bad actor. So I don't know if he could act that well in that situation. Paula Burrow says, the less he says, the easier the retcon. Maybe he's learning. Well, all right. Well, here's the thing. Philip never learns. So that is impossible. He's definitely not learning, all right? So that's out. Forget about that opportunity, that possibility in your mind, Paul, because that's impossible. So what we have to think about is what would lead to him being silent, since it can't be because he's learning, because that's not possible. So that means it's probably something serious, right? Or he's worried about what will happen if he shares the information. So that probably means it's not a cat health thing, because he's really quick to bring that up. It's probably not a restraining order thing, because he will bring those up without question. It's probably not about his pets, because he will leak DMs with those in them. What could it be? Not a Jasper thing. He's happy to talk about Jasper, not doing blood work. You're right. I think it has to be the parents, right? That's the only or travel. Parents or travel or both, right? You know. Zetro says, all I have died. See you next week for MK World. Could be. That's ALT Mushmouth of Real. All right, you earned it. I got it here now for you. I got a new button for that. Here we go.
He had a stroke. He's Mushmouth.
There you go. Just to reiterate that's what I think. I think Philip really planned a 2-day trip. But then his mom said, 2 days? Are you crazy? Let's see if we can't change that return flight, Philip. You can do that now. It's 2025. And then he's like, okay, I'll try it. But you realize how much money I'm going to lose, Mommy? And then Mommy's like, okay, well, what if I pay for it? And then that's when he gets the agreement. And I'm guessing, Perry Q says, why is everyone obsessed with Connecticut and Mom? Because what are you thinking, Perry Q? Let me hear your theory, Perry Q. Because Perry Q, it's not very cool to not think about Connecticut now, because it has to be pretty serious, right? Pretty cool theory, don't you? Wouldn't you say cool? But I'm not trying to single coup out or anything. The pasta maker says, Phil saw Indrid, her tattoos specifically, thought her a gang member, and locked himself in his panic room until the scary little lady leaves him alone. Oh, he didn't execute Operation Fallen Angel? You need to execute Operation Fallen Angel whenever you see the tats. MTC, go, 11 seconds.
My theory is that his gouty pecker fell off, and that he and his wife have been searching the condo for it all week, hoping to God that Jasper did not eat it.
Grandson.
Hey, Pop. Is there a chance it could be a surprise Jenna visit? She knows where he lives, she knows the gate code, and she wants to talk to Kat. And knowing Phil, he's paranoid that she might act out during one of his streams. Thoughts?
Well, I'm definitely buzzing you, because that's impossible. Let's take this to a logical conclusion. All right, these are all from Crispy Critter. These are from yesterday. I'm finishing up from yesterday, starting with the ones from yesterday. So let's say that Jenna shows up at that door and knocks on the door. I'm guessing when someone knocks on the door, it's like an emergency at that household. Everyone flips out, you know. Oh my God, someone at the door. Cat, don't get it. Let me check. So they check the camera or whatever, the ring light or that ring doorbell thing. And they see, yeah. Cat, downstairs, now, in the basement. You know the place. Close the door behind you. And then he checks out who it is, and he sees it's Jenna. And Philip knows what Jenna looks like, and he calls the police that second. Once he calls the police come. Jenna explains the situation, and they say, well, Jenna, you got to go. And then she moves. And that's the end of it. In reality, though it's much funnier, but that's what I'm guessing. It would really happen in real life if that happened, you know. But I don't think that's what happened. But if it did happen, that's what would happen. Something to that effect. Waffle Bunny, go.
Yo, it's your boy Waffle Bunny. 1, 2, 3. Lunch style call, work style call. I got 2 chicken tenders.
I like the tags. Sweet. Well, I love adding tags. I recommend tags. Go ahead. This is your boy Waffle Bunny. 1, 2, 3. Coming at you. Go ahead.
Yo, it's your boy Waffle Bunny. 1, 2, 3. Lunch style call, work style call. I got 2 chicken tenders, some beans, honey mustard, and a cookie with blue Gatorade. which you
You're
guys got.
losing me.
Anyway, I was watching Broside Phil's stream,
Uh-huh.
and I noticed that Phil multiple times went to quote unquote check on Kat's cooking. I bet she's gone. She's got to be gone. Either working or she's just gone. You know, Leanna style. Or she's doing a surgery, and that's why she's gone for a prolonged time. And he probably was like, hey, fuck it, I can just take the days off anyway, too. I got to put some cash, some feria. I can just chill for a while. Anyway, this is the most quote-unquote truthful guy we got around. So who knows? Probably it is just a whack-ass experiment, and we're just like a bunch of dudes speculating. Hey, but it's all part of the fun anyway. Shout out to you guys, and shout out to all. See you guys later.
Big ass waffle bunny. So I'm not hitting the buzzer. Because that is definitely in our top 3 possibilities, right? That is definitely categorized under the terms of cat health or health. Cat health, you know. But if let's just say Cat left, I think he would be back to streaming pretty quickly. You know what I mean? That's no big deal. It's pretty easy just to keep on streaming. We've seen. So when Leanna left, I think it was didn't miss a single day. So I don't think he would stop if Catherine left, especially not this long. This is way too long. He would keep going. Anonymous, go.
This is 100% Philip planning for this, but pretending that this is a impromptu, unforeseen absence. I think he barely mentioned the second day off for a reason, and he didn't want to announce a long period of time off ahead of time so that he could keep things vague and deny detractors a win, knowing the content of the leaked messages and what he had to do regarding his mom and the visit.
So this is requiring a slight leap. I do want to say, someone said that he did skip streams when Leanna left. I don't remember that. I thought he didn't miss any at all, almost. But I'll check it. But as for that theory that was said, that is the only leap it's causing me to take, which I'm not so sure I'm ready for, is that Philip pre-planned something. You know what I mean? Now, pre-planning this plan to go longer, is this even too much for DSP to announce, to handle that level of planning? We know he has a legendarily low work ethic, foresight, everything. This is requiring him to say 2 days, but no, I'm going to extend it when I can. Maybe. I'm not saying it's not possible. But it would require that a little bit of foresight, which is something he's never shown before. And when he ever, in the past, when he has shown foresight, it's always very dumb. Very, very dumb, right? So, General GK says, Phil found out who stole his shopping bags and is hunting them down Taken style. Thank you, General GK. Vikes is saying, divorce coin, hold. I think that Leanna would leave before there is a divorce. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing her getting the paperwork ready and all that shit. That said, I do have a little bit of a stake in divorce coin, of course, but eventually that would lead to a divorce, I guess. But let's see what Vikes thinks about it, though. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, too, Vikes. That's where I'm at, too, to be fair. Sorry, Cat, Leanna, saying all these people. You know, when the hard part of doing this is when I'm searching for something and I have to put in like search terms like Leanna, like I was doing when talking, and that just makes me say the name I'm saying. So it's, you know, a lot of fun. Everyone understands too. Manga says, in wrestling it is said vacant takes a title when it's vacated. So why not calling this the vacant saga? Well, it sounds like there's some kind of prize that's vacant if we say that, right? I don't mind it, but it sounds like there's some kind of prize there that is currently waiting for the king to pick it up again, right? That's not really. That sounds kind of positive. That's what we want to avoid. Henry says, I don't believe he would start streaming right away if Kat left because this time he's married and according to his older family values, he failed as a man and didn't keep his family together. But he's shown he can throw away his morals when he goes against them, right? When he goes against his morals, he's very quick to say that, well, times have changed. You know what I mean? Yeah, the login streak is still intact, okay? And once again, I'll say it again today. Don't follow the numbers on that thing too much, on the Scopely thing. They're updated kind of whenever they feel like it, so the times are kind of off. So, like, you could see one number, and someone else could see an entirely different number when you look at this right here, okay? So don't go by the times that are shown here. Like, this says last active 13 hours ago. You have no idea if that's true. It's just not how that's not how the website operates, okay? But it's still intact, though. The streak is still intact. That's all I can say. That's all we know, is the streak is still going on. So it must not be that serious, or... you know, you can't say it's definitely, because he also kept the login streak going during his marriage. Beansauce says, what's your wild speculation for when he will be back? All right, so that's easy. For me, my current guess of when Philip Burnell will be back to streaming, that is Monday. Why do I say Monday? Well, if my theory holds, it's pretty easy for mommy to request, hey, can you just stay a whole week, Philip? And I'll pay for it, you know? And then Philip agrees. That's a whole week. So she wants to get the whole week. And he leaves on Sunday instead, gets back on Monday. That's what I think. Well, it could be Saturday too, I guess. But that's my final guess is going to be Monday. All right. I guess that'll be the poll we'll do tomorrow. That being said, is when will Philip be back? Like, what are the choices, though? But anyways, let's go to a crazy theory in the wild. I don't know if it's crazy or not. I haven't heard it yet. Scott, Guilty Pleasure Cinema, go!
Hey, LT, I had a wild theory. I don't believe it either, but what if he flew home to Connecticut on his own and Kat kicked him out, or like people had an intervention from her family to kick him out and keep him away, so now he can't go back? Very doubtful, but it's an interesting one, right?
I like the thought of so the first half I was kind of really on board with. All right, the first half I was massively on board with that. Okay. Because it does sound interesting, right? Like, what if he went by himself, which I think still could be possible, by the way. It very much still could be possible that Philip just went by himself and she's taking care of the animals. So that's kind of like a second part of we could theorize about is Catherine even with him there, right? Because if he goes to the last time, you know, all those pet problems and stuff. Well, if Kat stays home, that'll save all of it, right? That'll save all those problems. Now, the second half is where you got kind of off the rails about how, like, locking him out and stuff. I think that's a little impossible. But yet, the first half of her being in Washington sounds good to me. Sounds more possible than her going, actually. Like, what's more probable? Her being, if he went to Connecticut, is it more probable that he's there too, or she's there too, or she's back home? I say back home. Why? You know? It'll just be a quick trip, you know? But who knows? Who knows? All right, next up we have Orphan of Costco. Oh my God. Orphan of Costco. Go.
Hey, Unc. So, kind of wild theory out here.
Go ahead.
I love everybody throwing out all these like crazy ideas, but I think it's going to be something really, really stupid. And I think it's literally just that it is too hot for him to stream in that room because he's having all these AC problems. Go ahead and buzz me. I'll take it. ALT is old. Thanks.
Oh, now you have to finish with that. Get off my show. Get off my show. Orphan of Costco. But I think that's a funny idea, though. So you do win in the end. You do get the seal of approval with the funny one. But It's too hot. Sorry, guys. It was just too hot. That would count as a nothing burger, by the way. Just so you know where the nothing burger line lies. That's where it is. It's something like that. That's a nothing burger. Father Time wants to chime in. This is an interesting one. Phil has discovered the world of adult mods and downloaded Big Booby Tifa for Final Fantasy Rebirth, and he jacked it so hard he broke his noodle's banjo string. Blood everywhere. He's recovering like a crybaby in hospital. He broke. I wasn't aware of a banjo string in my noodle, but now I'll be checking later feverishly until I find that banjo string. But breaking the banjo string is a hell of a theory. Oh, now Kaiser says maybe it was the Naked Barrett mod. Now I'm into it. Now we're playing with fire. Now we're cooking with gas. And now it's time to take our first trip into the unicorn. Kaiser sent us here. Don't forget it. Come on. Let's go. Kaiser wanted us to go here. He said it. Barrett mods. Hog. BBC. Anger. All right, I'll stop. LTG showed up at the end there for some reason. Okay. Just the Gamer John, go.
So I think what happened is that Phil decided to open up a sandwich shop, and a competing sandwich shop opened up right next to him and put him out of business. And that's my hashtag Theo theory.
Oh, here we have a VIP Brazilian girl. Go, Brazilian girl.
Just saying. My theory that Phil took Cat to Japan to felt the trolls is getting more and more likely every day.
That is a good point, Brazilian girl. Because the longer this goes, the more chance it could be something like that. Thanks for pointing that out. Continue.
He shows up on screen. He will have pictures and videos of himself and Cat dressed as geishas. I don't actually believe it, but you never know. Bye, Vovo.
Oh, don't tell me what that really means. I'll think of my own definition in my mind. So I will actually not buzz that because it would be interesting if that is the case. I don't think that is the case, but that could be the case. Okay? The longer this goes, the higher the percentage rises. But when I'm talking percentage here, I'm talking it goes from 0.01% to 0.02%. Okay? That is what I'm saying. All right? So it just goes up the slightest of touches. But big ups to Brazilian Girl, as always. Formerly Chuck says, this is his theory, the closet cleanout was actually a stealth cleanout of the house for his parents' visit. Well, I like it. I'm not buzzing it. But the bad part of the closet cleanout was he didn't actually clean anything. So if that was the idea, he didn't really succeed. He just took everything out and put it right back in. So I don't know. It's more likely, Seven, that he took her to Little Japan in California. And even that's too far away. But yeah, I think a closed closet is least of his concerns, as Jericho said. I agree with that. A closed closet, that's just a place for stuff and stuff. We've all been there, right? We've all been there. Got some overflow, can't find a spot for it, shove it in the closet, close it, and pretend your job is done. It works for a while, but eventually that door is going to get opened. Whether it be by your mother or wife, it's going to happen. So don't do it, guys. Don't go for that. Spend the time. I've been there. Brett in the house here. Go ahead, Brett.
Hey, ALT. I actually live in Seattle, Washington, and I just went to the vet with my dog, and I can see Kat in one of the rooms, and it looks like she's in a lot of distress, and apparently she has really bad type 2 diabetes, and they're thinking they might have to amputate a leg. Like, excuse me, can you stop that?
Okay, well, audio. I can't confirm or deny the audio, but you did hear it. Let's get a little bit more information here one more time.
Hey, ALT.
Yeah.
I actually live in Seattle, Washington, and I just went to the vet with my dog, and I can see Kat in one of the rooms, and it looks like she's in a lot of distress, and apparently she has really bad type 2 diabetes, and they're thinking they might have to amputate a leg. Like, excuse me, can you stop that?
Okay, big ups, Brett. That was a worthwhile time. I'll probably play it on That Being Said tomorrow too. I got one. I got a few. Where is DSP sound bites ready for tomorrow? So I'll play that one too, Brett, if you don't mind. I'm assuming you don't mind, by the way. So let me know if you do mind. War Dog Leader says, "Here's my theory. What if he did this Investpendant Day stream because he needed the money for the traveling to see his parents?" Here's the thing. He's been doing those marathons once a month for the last how long now? So I don't think it's anything special, right? It's just what makes that marathon different than the marathon that was the month before and the month before? Remember the month before he did the Mario Kart Party one, $500 that he got, and that was not enough. The one before that, he did get $1,000. It's a once a month thing, so it definitely is just something he's doing now. It's not like anything special. Larry says, "I'm calling man boob surgery." Now, Philip cares enough, but he also knows he would be made fun of more for getting surgery, so he wouldn't do that. He would try to eliminate the chances for you to make fun of his moobs, but he would not get moob surgery, actually. You know what I mean? Like, that's more embarrassing, kind of. Phil Burnell has left a message here. This could get interesting. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Hello, everyone. Phil here. And I don't know why the fuck everyone keeps saying that my parents are sick, or that I'm in Connecticut, or that my wife is sick, or she's getting me divorced, or whatever the fuck. What actually happened is I got contacted by Scopely, okay? And they said, "Hey, Phil, since you've been such a loyal customer, and since you spent a fucking ridiculous amount of money in our fucking gang, we're gonna..."
Needed a bit more work before you hit record on that one, Phil Burnell, but good job anyway. Thank you, Phil Burnell. MTP, go.
I don't know if this has been said already, but what if the person who's sick is actually one of Kat's family members?
Okay.
And now that Philip doesn't have a maid to take care of him, he has to put his show on pause. Now that he has to do all the housework himself, he can't do all of it at once. He could have gone with her, wherever her parents live or whatever, but it's just another thought.
Big ups, MTB. I will say to this one that Kat's, she disavowed her family and her parents have nothing to do with her. I think that's a court thing, like court-ordered style thing. So Kat cut her family off, the family cut off from them. It's not really possible. I don't think. Of course, we don't know. But, maybe something happened. Maybe they reached out and said it's emergency. Who the fuck knows? All these things are possible, but low likelihood. But could be. Here we have the only J-Dub says, not hearing him beg for almost a week feels like tranquility until he comes back and goes ultra instinct on the begging. Now, I wonder when he comes back, like it all depends on what it is. But it's going to be one of my most interesting parts of when he comes back. Of course, we're going to hear the story and stuff of whatever version he chooses to tell. But it will be very funny for me waiting. Okay, so hopefully we're restreaming. I tell you right now, we're going to be restreaming it whenever the fuck it is. It'll be here on or That Being Said, whatever the fuck day it is. When he comes back, right, I'm going to have a switch, and I'm going to wait on that switch, because when will he turn on begging mode after the return, right? Because that's kind of it'll be a big step, right? Because I'm assuming, let's just assume for a second, it's a positive thing, right? Okay, so I went to see, I'm not promising that to you, Soldier. I'm saying it depends on the day and everything, but if it's like, okay, I went to see my parents, they're not doing so well. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. And he'll tell the story and then start the bag. Or if it's negative, like, oh, something happened with my family, I couldn't do it. So anyways, guys, I did miss a lot of fucking streams, if you noticed. You know, how fast will it take him to get right back to the, well, guys, I missed a lot of streams, if you didn't notice. You know, that kind of switch will be interesting. So, guys, check out the leaderboard. Something bad happened if you can't tell. You know, that thing. Bob Starsky, go.
Hello, it's me again. Do you like my fan? It's really hot. Maybe Phil is meeting with attorneys to discuss suing Raw Phil and Duty streams. Or maybe he's going to go and meet Ethan Klein to discuss how they're the same and he got fired from a helicopter company. ALT is moderately aged.
Thank you. Oh, I'll take that. Thank you, Bob Starsky. Moderately aged. I feel like we're both moderately aged, actually. Big ups, Bob Starsky, as well. I don't think that is true. I don't think it takes that many days, even if that is the case, right? I don't think Philip is sitting there with the lawyers for that long of a time. You know what I mean? But you never know. You never know. This next one is a Japanese name, and it has this. I'm going to tell you the sound it's making. It's making the sound of a throw up. Okay, it's not a word. It's just a throw up sound in Japanese. Let's hear what they have to say. It's only 12 seconds here. I'm very interested in this one. Go ahead.
Hello, Unc. Have you noticed how DSP is way more interesting when he's gone than when he's there? Fucking coping every single day makes you think.
One more time.
Hello, Unc.
Yes.
Have you noticed how DSP is way more interesting when he's gone than when he's there?
It.
Fucking coping every single day makes you think.
Big ups to Kaiser in the house with the Uwe name. He knew that would get me to play it. That's the problem. He knew that would get me to play it. No, I'm basically playing everything. Big ups to Shadow Slammer. Go.
Hey, Bub. It's me, Jade. Sorry, I clean slob of my lips. Hey, Bub. I hear DSP here, Bub. Why no mob arrival stream in month, Bub?
Get out of here, Jade. Cutting you off, Jade. Jade, this is your time to go somewhere else. This is your time to find other content creators that you're going to love, and they treat you right. They treat you normally. They don't yell at you. David Ortiz says, I bet Phil is Project 7 running from his responsibilities. Well, for what, right? For what? Shadow Slammer says the rest is good and is willing to put his entire career on the line. All right. There is the remainder of 26 seconds. Shadow Slammer's entire career is on the line in the next 26 seconds. Let's go.
I know like what you truck, Bub. It no fun. Bub, I want to say, fuck Snood, Bub. He no play mob arrival Wolverine, Bub. Hey, Bub. Also, Bub, the Unicorn Club, Bub. I know be there, Bub. DSP be there.
Nope, didn't make it. Career contract ripped.
Ooh, nasty.
One too many bubs. No, just kidding. It's fine. It's a bit. Jade's getting too active. Free Ice Cream says he plans breaks like starting being sick early. That is a statement of fact. There are times when he's taking staycations and things like that where he starts letting everyone know he's sick way ahead of time. You know, you ever done that at work before where you kind of make sure you get a cough in, a visible cough in, so the people know it's not insane when you call off the next day? We've all done it. If you haven't done it, you're lying to yourself. You've made sure to cough in front of the boss the day before you're going to call in when you know it. You know, you say, oh, God, hope I don't get this. Oh, my God. I hope I don't get the same thing she had last week. Oh, my God. That's what you do. It's happened. It's happened. And DSP does it in a longer way, though. Like, he does it way extended so far you don't even know what's going on. Shadow Slammer said, I lost IQ for your entertainment chat. Big up, Shadow Slammer. You're a legend nonetheless. Logan K says, I don't believe this is planned. In what world would he willingly miss out on $1,800 worth of streams? He is caught somewhere waiting. Ooh, I like that how you put that. He is caught somewhere waiting. I don't know. I think that waiting, though, Logan, is just waiting for whenever he agreed with Mommy to leave. And we're just waiting on that day. So, could be right now, could be tomorrow, could be Saturday, could be Sunday. We're just waiting for when the new leaving time was agreed upon with Linda. In my opinion. Unplanned shit he would bitch about. That's what I think. Unplanned, he would absolutely bitch about. Don't you think, Logan? What unplanned would he not bitch about? And it's health or parents. And I guess that's where we are. All right. Jericho TSK in the house. Go!
Good morning, all. So, I believe at this point, there's no way it's something he could be blaming. There's no way it's Comcast. There's no way it's a power outage. There's no way it's HOA.
Agree. Oh!
This has to be...
Hold on. Now, Jericho, hold on. I was with you till the HOA statement. Remember Logan brought up the HOA thing? That might take days to fix. So if it was that exact thing Logan laid out, it still might be a HOA, right? But all the rest, I agree with you. Keep going, though.
There's no way it's something he could be blaming. There's no way it's Comcast. There's no way it's a power outage.
Agree.
There's no way it's HOA.
Disagree. Go ahead, though.
This has to be something out of his control and out of everyone's control. There's just no way. I think his body would have literally combusted from the pressure of not being able to complain if it was some entity that he could refer to. So, yeah. Also, I got the job in Connecticut.
Yeah.
So, big ups me. Thanks, everybody.
Hell yeah. Shout outs, Jericho. Getting the job. Come on. Let's see what Hendry thinks of this. Oh, yeah. Connecticut job. Hopefully that's Skorsky. I heard they don't lay people off. So you have a job for life, brother. If there's any extra training you can get it. You're going to look for ACE training. I don't know what it means, but you want it. That's all I can say. Because once you get that puppy, they'll never lay off. It's like you are locked. So go for that training, and you are good. Big ups, Jericho. You made it. Crample Smurf in the house. Go ahead.
Okay, hear me out. So, Cat needs some more help around the house. So, they're going to go Mormon. They're going to get some polygamy involved so he can have, like, multiple mom wives in the house to help take care of him. Yeah, this is definitely it. And Alt, you're my grandpa.
Get off my show! Crample Smurf. That's a funny thought, though. He would be the person to change religions to have more wives, but then not have sex with any more of the wives. He would get the more wives just for the increased workforce, not for the increased sexual opportunities. That's on brand, actually. You might be onto something. Okay, let's go. Ooh, uh-oh. Now, the name is a little bit scary, so I'm just going to push play. I don't know what's going to be on the other side of this button push, but I'm going to push it for you together. Hang on to each other. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, man? I did some investigating, and I actually called David's job. And
David's job.
The receptionist lady told me he was out for the week, so maybe that could help with the theories of him being in Connecticut. Thanks.
He called what?
Hey, what's up, man? I did some investigating, and I actually called David's job.
He called David's job. Okay. Okay. Well, there's definitely a question. There's definitely a number on that puppy. So yeah, okay. The receptionist was the dead rabbit. No, I know what he means. He means David, his father. But he is retired, actually. So, but anyways, the name, by the way, was Derek. that's why I was a little bit scared. But he didn't lean into that angle, so I think we're all better for it. Big ups to Joe Dub, who says, also, who's watching Jasper? Well, we know that in the DMs, Philip has thought about that. Who's going to watch the pets? And he has more than one. He said in the DMs he has more than one. So who's going to watch them? And I think that leads more proof to the fact that Catherine probably stayed home no matter where it is. No matter where Philip is, Catherine's in Washington, in Renton, Washington. That's what I'm guessing. Let's go to Wood Knox, a holder of the first Hogan card. Wood Knox, go.
I have been Team Health, specifically subset Linda, from day one, for no real reason other than knowing that the snakening was 100% cope and that 99% of what he said in the DMs to PPP, I call him Power of the Truth, was Dave bearing his soul to a perceived friend.
True.
I really do think that this is either the aforementioned Connecticut visit for her health or is at the very least related. I don't know. Maybe she choked on a cigarette and broke a rib. That being said, I've absolutely loved all of the Theo theories put forth, regardless of their level of veracity. Big ups to everyone speculating, even the most mundane of things. And remember to keep it flat and yawn out.
Big ups, Wood Knox.
Is this where I insult the old man's age?
Hold on, he had a fadeaway comment. Let me hear that again.
Even the most mundane of things. And remember to keep it flat and yawn out. Is this where I insult the old man's age?
Get off my show! You were doing so well until the ending. Get off my show! Yes, I do think, though, that's a high chance of it being exactly what he said it was. You know what they say? It's not Occam's razor in this case, but Occam's razor or Gautam's razor, whatever the fuck you want to say it. The simplest answer, guys, is that the trip he told Triple P about is what he's going on right now. That's what I think is true. But anyways, let's go to Money Haver.
Goedenavond, grootvader. My theory is that he is in Connecticut, but he's stuck there because...
Hold on a second. What was that?
Goedenavond, grootvader. My theory...
I'm sure that's an old joke. I'll let it go this time.
...is that he is in Connecticut, but he's stuck there because of some money issue. Either his parents got a hospital bill, or a burial bill, or some other kind of acute money problem that Phil was required to give money to them, and so now he has no money for the return tip, and he's stuck there until he can borrow money from somebody.
Nah, not true, because he would just, I think there's always Linda and David to pay for wherever he gets stuck, right? He could just call them and they'd send. But a fun theory, but I do think it would be more of a parents save me situation, right? He wouldn't give anyone else money. Big ups James, who says, unforeseen circumstances. The parents have been dying for years. This break was foretold years ago. Come on, Dave. This break was foretold 6 years ago, actually. 2019, Philip said his parents were not doing so well. That was the unforeseen circumstances. They're on their last legs health-wise. But then when that person asked him about why his parents need to send him food, he said they're doing fine. So it's very malleable, their health, if you've found out. Perry Koo! You are someone. Koo! 4 seconds. Go.
Psyched, I'm not Perry Koo. Fuck Snoop. Fuck Snoop. Fuck Snoop.
Oh my God, I got hacked. This was not even Perry Koo. These are coming from nowhere. Uh-oh, it's time to jump on that poll. Come on.
Now this is podcasting.
It's not what I meant. Wrong button.
Time to hop on that poll.
Go.
If this was a planned 2-day trip and his mom convinced him to stay longer, that conversation would have taken place Saturday or Sunday. Why would he wait until Monday morning to tell everyone, hey,
hold on now,
I'm not going to stream today?
Hold on now.
He would have updated everybody immediately after that conversation, because presumably...
Papa Polecat spitting right here, isn't he? Why would he not instantly say that if that was the case? Because that conversation likely wouldn't take place on Monday morning. That is a point I hadn't thought of. Hold on, let's let Pop Polecat finish. He's not even done yet. Go ahead.
Monday, he would have already been back in Renton had he actually planned a flight back to be able to stream Monday. So I just can't get behind this whole mythical conversation and him being convinced to stay in Connecticut longer. And that's why he's still MIA. I don't know.
Well, then, Papa Polecat, the question is, then what do you think it is then? Do you think what is your take then, Papa Polecat? The world needs to know. Because you seem to have an idea. Hold on, let me see. That being said, I think I retweeted something. Yeah, let me move this. Get out of here. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? It's not even Carmen. There's no Carmen, there's no point. Get out of here. Okay, so I don't see how he can plan to go to Connecticut and say with such conviction he'd be back Monday morning to stream, knowing full well he would be flying across the country twice in 2 days. There's just no way. Why the song and dance of making a schedule for Monday? So you're saying you don't think it was a trip to Connecticut, and you're also saying you don't think it was an extension. The extension talk with Linda never happened. Then Papa Polecat, what are you thinking? That's what we need to know. Because I'm down with your thoughts so far. But then what's your theory right now? You know? Hate Army in the house. Go ahead.
Hey, Hate Army here. So listen, here's my theory. We all know he killed T, right? And
I'm on the buzzer.
Clue for this disappearance is in the fact that he never went to visit his grave. Why do you think that is? Obviously, he knows where the body is. He buried T's body in the basement of the condo. And so that's obviously the reason why he never visited T's grave.
I'm slamming it. Get off my show! That's too insane. And he did visit before. And the grave does exist. But he did visit there before. Okay, 10 more seconds. We'll give it to him.
When he went back or whatever. So fast forward to today. After the condo got repossessed, they tore it down. They found the body. They know who did it. He's disappeared. What do you think?
Okay, whatever. Yeah, he did not actually. He didn't. Philip never talked about visiting the grave. No, but I don't know how he got from killing T. T was in the. Okay, I'm not entertaining that. Get off my show. Oh, Dracula penis.
Hey, ALT. I have it on good authority that unfortunately Phil passed away the exact same way that Mr. Hands tragically died. If you don't know who that is, I think you should look it up. All right. Thanks, bye. You're old.
Get off my show. Okay, Mr. Hands. So how did Mr. Hands die is the question. Seems like some people know how he died. I don't. So I will now Google it happily. Mr. Hands' death. How did Mr. Hands die? Mr. Hands' death. Whoa, okay. I'll be checking that one out later. Bookmark and put bookmark. Tabs. Okay. Okay, so how did he die? Oh, okay. Well, this is an interesting situation. He, how can I put this? He had an incident with an animal. Oh, yeah, let's ask ChatGPT to take care of this. How can I explain Mr. Hand's death to a young person? I can't curse or use sexually explicit language. Go. Here we go. Mr. Hands was a nickname used for a man who died from a very unusual and unsafe activity involving animals. What happened was against the law and extremely dangerous. The injuries he got were internal and too serious for doctors to fix, and sadly he passed away. His story became well known online, mostly because it shocked people. But in the end, doesn't even matter. It's a reminder of how important it is to respect safety rules and never take risks with your health or life. Good point, ChatGPT. I appreciate that. Dr. Strangeliffe said Linda is paying him $300 a day to visit. Sounds insane, but might not be that insane, is all I'm saying. Salute Your Snort says, what are the betting odds? Plus 800 parents, plus 600 cat. That's a funny idea. I should make, let's try to create the betting lines for that being said tomorrow. And try to go through and make our bets. Like what, like highest odds, right, are, we'll figure it out. I'm not doing it now. Not live on stream is not the best place to do that. Jimmy Joe says, Phil got drunk, fell down the stairs, broke a leg, and can't make it back upstairs to stream. Not hitting the buzzer, but it's been a long time, Jimmy Joe. We're almost getting too long for that to be the case. What are we doing? Still laying down? All right, next up, 05, go.
Look, I said before
yes.
That it's got something to do with Jasper. Like, I could be wrong, though, but I still kind of stand by that theory. I don't care if I'm wrong or not.
Okay. I have X'd you before. I'm not afraid to do it again, but let's see if you have a new theory. Go ahead.
But I have another outlandish theory.
We're ready.
What if there's, like, multiple things going on behind the scenes? So, like, for example, he finally gets off his ass and does repairs to his appliances because he found out his parents are going to come visit. And I don't think his parents would be too happy that their son is sitting on his ass all day and not fixing shit.
Okay. So, light X on this one, because we've seen before when his parents come over. And I do have some videos ready for us when the last time his parents came over, just for fun. But he would still stream. I think he took off one day for the parents coming, right? One day off when his parents came last time to clean up. So I think he would be the same thing here. Pretty long time to be off for cleaning up now at this point, right? But he did do the closet clean out marathon, but your closet in the office is like the last thing you need to worry about when your parents are coming, right? You know how it goes when your parents are coming. You got to make sure the toilets are good, the living rooms are good, everything visible. Everything that's not visible by guests, that can stay disaster zone. We've all been there, right? Bedroom's a mess, but the places people can enter look immaculate. But it's all a visage. It's all a mirage, illusion. We put up our fronts to pretend we're clean when actually we're not at all. You know the deal. Mike D said, What's Phil's parents' address? I could see if they are there. I'm not doing that, Mike D. Not doing that, Mike D. 3X. Not doing that, Mike D. Big ups, Mike D. Sam says, the mold in the bathroom came to life and took over the house. Okay. I'd say the mushrooms growing out of the incident stain have more chance of coming alive than the bathroom mold. Personally, there's more biological matter in there. Justin, go.
My friend here, Justin, he's already taken, and he's cracked at Fortnite, my guy.
Get off my show. What the fuck was that? Get off my show.
Hello, LLC.
Yes,
and all the muchachos detractores. Latino style detractor here. I
think you called me old, but I'll let you go.
Philip, our boy Philip, finally took Catherine to pasture outside of the city. Or better say, he finally decided to take her on a vacation.
Yeah, I mean, listen, what's the most flex answer to this? When I say flex, I mean Philip looks the best in the eyes of the general internet. General internet here, guys. I'm not talking about detractors that keep up with all the shit. I'm talking about general internet at large. Now, imagine if DSP comes back and says, you know what, guys? I waited and I had to make it happen, and I'm sorry I was quiet about it, but I just took Kat on a honeymoon for a week. To Japan. Right? That would be... I mean, it makes him look like a cool guy to the general audience. Now, I'm not saying there's a high chance of that. In fact, I think there's no chance of that. But I'm just saying that would be something that the general internet would be like, whoa, you know. Wow, he's taking his wife out. Maybe things are going better for old Philip Burnell, you know. But, I mean, also it could be parent dying would make him not look better on the internet. But like, oh, it's a bad thing that happened, which obviously that is the case. But, you know. He would try, if it is the case that something bad happened to one of his family members, you just can't wait for it to be Detractor's fault. And Detractor's talking about why he's gone is also bad. We also cause some, and hearing all those people doing speculations about where I am really didn't help things much. Well, you chose not to say anything. People are going to speculate. You know, if you only give so much information, people are going to talk about the information that we have. So, yeah, Chew is our boots on the ground. Yes, there you go. Definitely. She's on top of it. Don't worry. Dare Bear says, what's going on with the WB logins? Is he still going on that or no? He is still going on that. Still continues to this day. So no worries there for the streak, Dare Bear. No worries. Let's go for Tip.
Yo, just a thought, not necessarily a theory. What if it's the Connecticut trip, but DMV fucked up his real ID, dude, and he had to drive there.
So he fucked up his real ID and had to drive to Connecticut to see his parents instead of flying. How long is that trip? I don't think that's going to be the case, but it would be funny. So, guys, I fucked up my real ID. I had to go there right away. I promised my mom I would be there. So what do? I end up driving. Of course, that takes a long time. You know how long it takes. And no, that's not going to happen. Yeah, his back is not going to let that be possible. But how long would it take to drive there? I'm wondering. Where are we going? Yeah. There we go. Drive time from Renton to Stratford. How long would it be? Drive time. It would take... Oh, God. How many Rentons are there? Fuck off. Oh, my God. How many Rentons are there? Gotta put more information in. Just give me the answer. AI, you're supposed to know what I mean. It would take 43 hours to drive there. 43 hours. So, I don't think that's happening, guys. But there we go. Could be. Asmir says, he's momless, he's wifeless, he's a bum. We'll see what Ashton thinks.
Look at him. He's scanning for tips.
I like the short ones. Over here, another one. I like when the shorter ones pop up. He's scanning for tips.
He's poor.
There you go. I looked at Kino Casino, just scanned through it this morning real quick. They didn't talk about DSP on Kino Casino last night. Didn't look like. If anyone watched it and knows otherwise, let me know. I do have it up here, but I didn't see anything about DSP, so they're not even trying to speculate. What he's saying. Hallowed Heretic Big Up said they did not. There we go. Allow me to put my hyperfixation hat on for a moment here. Is their lack of comment telling? Is Ashton not choosing to make fun of that fact telling? It seems. I'll tell you one thing I know about Kino Casino is they do not miss a chance to make fun of DSP gaming. And they missed a chance last night. And they could be bored, that's true. Chihuahua. But yet, does that mean they know something we don't know? Did DSP send a DM and say, listen, it's serious. Please don't make fun of this. I don't think so, but I'm just saying. Oh, they did briefly mention it. Okay, formless payment. Well, now I wish I had a timestamp because I could analyze that quickly going through it. They did have DSP in the promo title, but that's because they get clicks out of that, Rasma. Doesn't mean they're going to talk about it. Big Dog 9802, big up, says I had some bad Mexican and it forced throne sitting, which I do my best thinking on the throne. Oh, it forced through. Okay, sitting. Okay, is it either mom or to fix marriage? But whatever it is, DSP will work it to his advantage to his dens. Well, that is for sure. Just this much time off is going to lead to, he's going to get a lot of money when he gets back. I mean, that's just fucking the case, right? He's been gone that long. No matter what reason it is, he's going to get money when he gets back. But it's not going to make up for missing all these days. That's for sure. And Simulated Dumplings, thank you for that. If Triple P thought it was his mom, like he might, that might lead to even Triple P not making fun of it, right? So, not saying that's the case, but it makes sense, right? Especially if you know the situation and you know he knows DSP's not lying in those DMs. Would Triple P care? I don't know. I'm not even assuming that. I'm just saying that it's there. It's a fact I shared. I don't know how true it is. Okay, Clown Motel.
What if he's still in line at the Woolly? Please submit the survey and give us your thoughts.
If he's still in line at the what?
What if he's still in line at the Woolly? Please submit the survey and give us your thoughts.
I think he means Walmart. Is that what it's called over there, Willie? But if he's still in line in the Willie, is that Walmart? Walmart. Ah, yes. The British are always so whimsical with their nicknames. You never know where they're going to take it, right? You'll never guess what they call McDonald's over there, guys. A different world over there. It's crazy. They say wanker. All these words. They just make them up. They don't give a shit over there. They're so carefree. I don't think he's still in line there, though. But yeah, Macca's, man. What the hell? Come on. But that's for you, Clown Motel. You earned it. And you know why I had to push that. You know, in your heart of hearts, I had to push that on you. Iwamoto says, his nut exploded during Get off my show! Sandy Q in the house says, that mess of wires in his office caught fire, and he's too embarrassed to admit it. He's rebuilding. Okay, I give you soft. Because let's pretend that was the case. If that was the case, Sandy Q, what he will do is blame it on the manufacturers. He will say, my computer just bought it last week, caught fire out of nowhere. Not my fault. So then I'm stuck here cleaning it up. I did everything correct, exactly what they said. They said 6 inches of clearance. I had that definitely, even though it's not true. That's what he'll say. I don't smoke anything, by the way. I'm not a smoker. I am a review tech gummy style. When I do imbibe. Smoking is bad. I try not to. It's a way to die earlier, is what I say. There's a lot of ways to die earlier, and that's one of the stupid ones, in my opinion. Like I never have, though. But anyways, Paul Burrow says, no temple runs. This is the worst. I know, right? But let me tell you something. This is a life learning example. This is a life learning situation, okay? Absence makes the heart grow fonder, all right? I promise you it's true. John Lavo says, when's the next Density Scrolls? There will be a Density Scrolls as a part of the ending of the summer of WPIG. I promise you, John Lavos, right now. It's in the works right now. And I have to tell you guys, it's officially the beginning of the summer of WPIG, if you know what I mean. When there's still plenty of time before the ending, but you know it's coming as well. And that's called the beginning. There's always a slight sadness when the beginning of things happen. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy it as much as you have this whole time, okay? We have around 3 weeks left of this time where it streams every day and there's no question I'm streaming every day. But there we go. 3 weeks left around 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, something like that. Paul says, no temple. Oh, I read that already. Don't worry, my friend. Temple runs will be back. Let's get another theory. Go, Duncidness Gaming.
Hey there, this is Duncidness_gaming here. Forgot to enter my name last time. I'm going to go over again why I think he pre-planned this trip, and it's to visit his mother.
Go ahead.
And it's the strongest theory for me. This will not be a list with 2 items. Number 1, the last stream you reviewed shows his badly lying body language, which is a hallmark for Phil. This is very apparent to anyone that has watched him for any amount of time. He knew he would not be coming back. Number 2, we know what he said in the DMs with PPP. He
Hold
had
on,
one
say that
that
one
has
time.
one. The last stream you reviewed shows his badly lying body language, which is a hallmark for Phil.
Okay, I guess I'll play that again if that's still up to that's still not up for debate is the wrong word, but if you want to see that again, I can show you the ending of that. Raw Phil left it live, so let's see that. All right, but go ahead, keep going. Good first one. I'm on board. Go ahead.
This is very apparent to anyone that has watched him for any amount of time. He knew he would not be coming back. Number 2, we know what he said in the DMs with PPP. He has to visit his mother this year. He didn't want to announce this for several reasons, and here's what you could call a nested list within a list if you want. He thought people might break into his home. This is not
nested list. We are in the nested list era. Go ahead. This is the hyperfixation. We're on sub hyperfixation now.
He didn't want to.
This is subatomic fixation. All right. This is what we're looking for. Go ahead.
He would not be coming back. Number 2, we know what he said in the DMs with PPP. He has to visit his mother this year. He didn't want to announce this for several reasons, and here's what you could call a nested list within a list if you want. He thought people might break into his home. This is not unreasonable given how paranoid he rightfully is.
Yes.
He did not want to give people the opportunity, or squeegees, if you would like to call them, to catch him on video at the airport. There's a lot of other things that you can bring up to back this up, but these are just a few. I don't see this being anything else unless there's something wrong with him or Kat instead.
Oh, Duncidness Gaming coming out of nowhere to drop this? Damn. I mean, you're saying the theory I agree with, so it's not hard to hear this. Not hard to understand this. But let's go through them point by point. Point 1, he says, is right here. This is the end of the marathon. The last time he was seen, I played this yesterday, but you can handle one more playthrough. Come on, what are we doing? Let's see what you think of this.
Okay.
Is this a truthful message, or is it a very untruthful message, and he knows he's going to do something very different than what he's saying right now? Go ahead. This is Dentpool. Go ahead, Dent.
What an event, huh? Holy moly. Okay, so here's the deal, folks. I am not here tomorrow. I am not here tomorrow. I am not here Sunday. I want to remind you all, I'm not here for the next 2 days. I come back on Monday, hopefully refreshed and renewed.
I'm saying it again. That does not look like someone that knows he's not going to be back on Monday. It does not. It does not look like someone that knows he's not going to be back on Monday. I think he thinks at this time he's going to be back on Monday, legitimately. I think there might be some more to it, but I think he really thinks at this point he's going to be back on Monday. Fort Worth Ray says he's lying, he's touching his hair. Okay. I'm saying this with utmost respect to you, Fort Worth Raised. You cannot go off hair touches from someone that does as many hair touches as he does. Right? I think hair touches can be thrown out in terms of the tells. But okay, let's go one more time.
I am not here tomorrow.
He does lie a lot, though. That's true, too.
I am not here tomorrow. I am not here Sunday. I want to remind you all, I'm not here for the next 2 days. I come back on Monday, hopefully refreshed and renewed.
I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. That's what we're left with. That kind of fresh thing. It's kind of weird, right? And body language is inconsistent. Some have said, let's say we have some reporters on the streets that would say he might have something, hyperfixation situation. So he might not be the most believable in terms of the body language. Okay. Body language could be very inconsistent. Not know what he's giving off from his own body language for reasons. Big Beppo says someone needs to scope his favorite pizza spot. Well, Vinny's is there. Anonymous, go.
Hello, Unc. I'm coming in with my theory to say that I think the cat got 2 new bunnies. And actually, when you get bunnies
I hate to do this to you. I have to do it, though. But go ahead. I'm listening. I'm still listening.
that aren't paired at birth and they're separate, they try to kill each other. So maybe they got a pair of bunnies and it didn't work out for them.
Now, if you didn't add the second part, I don't think I would buzz it. But I think because of the second part and they killed each other. Is that true though? Do bunnies kill each other? I don't know if they could actually kill each other. But would he take 5 days off for a bunny? No, he wouldn't give Jasper $400 in blood work. So he's not taking off just because of dead bunny. They can kill each other. Thanks, everybody. I didn't know that. I've never seen that. I've never seen rabbits in action. I had rabbit when I was younger, but I was kind of like too younger. I remember when he died, but it wasn't like a pet you have your whole life and you grow up and you're very sad. I think they had him when I was very young, and then he died when I was still young, but I still remember him. And you know what his name was, guys? And I'm not lying. I am not lying. His name was Bugs. 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 Because that was what my parents named him. Bugs. Not Biggs. Bugs. But I don't have any special feeling about him. He was white. That's all I remember. But he was a white, red-eyed rabbit. And he was fine. But I don't remember much about him. We didn't have many moments together. Greedo the Green says, is this the longest DSP has been offline? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Greedo the Green. It is the longest he's been offline. And the second longest, I believe, is the parents' visit for the marriage, right? And that was 4 days. This is the longest. Big ups to Dragon Slayer Productions. Go.
Hey, big ups, alts. You're old and stuff. Just jokes. Big fan of the
Fine, that's fine. We let that go.
Show.
That almost is more brutal when you say okay, well, clearly you're of advanced age. I want to say that you are not young. Just a statement of fact here. You are probably over the age of 30, middle age. Just saying, nothing more to it. That's worse. Like trying to softly tell me the fact.
It's a random theory. I don't know if anyone else said it, but what if he just decided, I just want to take a whole week off? I mean, I know that's a random theory.
Yeah.
But he is getting older, and who knows? It could just be life kicking his ass, and he just wants to take a whole week off. All right, take care.
All right, so if we were dealing with any other normal human being on Earth, I would be more on board with this one. But in Philip's case, in my opinion, not only does he legitimately need the money to survive and to play champions, he also can't go without attention that long, right? And yes, I always say Philip is not he's not addicted to money. He's addicted to attention and acceptance. And one thing you can't get when you're off from doing your stream is acceptance and, attention. So he's getting attention now, that's for sure. But he's not getting any kind of rewards of that. He can't gloat to anybody about it. He can't tell how much he doesn't care about the tractors to his people in his chat, right? So he's not getting any of the rewards for that. So I don't think that would be the case. I think his need of attention is greater than just wanting to take a week off like normal human fucking being, right? Because normal human beings will say, a week off? Yes, that's a good idea. I'll do that, yes. But will never be that normal. Even though that sounds crazy to say. Howard Heretic, big ups. Kino stream last night. Timestamp starts at 1:40, lasts for about 3 minutes. I'll go there right now. Hallowed Heretic. I got it right here. All right, 1:40:05. Let's see how they talk about DSP real quick. Oh, real early. Jesus, they do fucking shows, don't they? 9 hours? Damn. That's what you guys. That's why. See, that's why you guys bitch about me not streaming enough. Because these guys are doing like 9 hours just chilling. I'm not doing that. All right, here we go. 1:40:05. Here we go. All right. And go.
Shut the fucking old ski, 60 years old, busting out the fucking wife beater on
Listen,
stream.
I got glasses. I got the wife beater. You know. All right.
Oh, there is an F slur.
Worski
Okay.
puts on the wife beater. DSP gets rock fucking hard.
Oh, these fucking artists.
Where is the slur? Can someone tell me where the slur is? If there is a slur, I can't exactly. I'll come back to this when we know where the slur is. Where's the slur?
Listen, should I tell them? Should I tell them the secret of why Phil's gone?
Yes.
Now, we've been withholding the secret of why Phil has been gone for days. Phil actually reached out, okay?
All right,
if we get 20 subs right now.
This is the usual triple P shtick, so
Now,
don't
we'll
believe
tell
this.
the story.
Thank you, Kohi.
Of why Phil is missing. We actually do know. Phil reached out to us and
You gotta fucking pay up, Duty.
we're gonna need 20 subs right now from Duty Streams himself. Only a payment from Duty will do.
Something. We gotta do a parody of that song, the Kastan song, but it's us doing that song.
Made that. And Andy just called him a fag. I'm not gonna lie. I'm allowed to do this, right? I just want to go on vacation again. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to do this shit anymore. I just really want to go on vacation. Vacation.
All right, not so much to it. Nothing much to it at all, right? That was it. Just like, I know where he is. Duty pay up. Duty did not pay up, I don't think. So we didn't find out. That's it. Okay. Well, not much there, huh? Not much there. Mickey Thor says, a mysterious robotic voice phone call. Phil, we have your Scopely account. If you call the authorities, if you stream even 1 minute, account deletion. You have 5 days to get to Sonic or else. All right. Hallowed Heretic says they say more. Big up, Sicky Thor. That would cause him to not stream, though.
Action by Warski.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
iDubbbz, right? Ralph can't do anything to come back. Can he? Go think. You're Ralph.
Do a show and put effort into it, and maybe you would get a small audience. That would
141.45.
True.
Okay.
Someone goes, Andy, are you dyeing your beard? I don't have white in my beard. What are you talking about? Tactical slur. That's a good.
I'm like trying to dodge.
All
Okay,
right,
here we go.
Vino Casino gifted 1 sub, which honestly is enough.
Okay,
I'm going to give
go
it
ahead, go ahead.
Thank you, everyone, for the big support. We really appreciate it. Holy shit, massive. I'm staying for post show. Let's have some fun tonight.
Here's what actually happened.
Go ahead.
Saturday night, Darkside Phil reached out to Andy and confessed his love to Andy. He was sending dick pics. He was fucking saying how sexy he found Andy, his rock hard body, this, his gaming soulmate, that.
Okay. I'm on board so far. Keep going.
And Andy just called them. And Phil is just completely heartbroken, totally devastated. There was a tearful voice message he sent to Andy, just sobbing. And that's where Phil's been. Phil has been drinking every single day.
Oh, no.
Trying to wash down the sadness of his rejection by Warski.
Tactical slur. That's a good.
He just wanted a crumb of Warski's cock, and he just couldn't get it.
You know.
And so.
You know in PG-13 where they have one F word, and they have to tactically put it in perfectly.
Yeah,
that was a tactical.
There you go. Tactical F slur. There we go. Okay. Moving on. There we go. That is the Keto Casino theory, which is just a story. That was funny, though, but you know what I mean. Let's go. Next up, we have... What is it? Then we'll get to some fun stuff, all right? Definitely will not be getting to all these messages. Big ups, everybody, for your messages. We never know. There might be a fucking next one of these. Will you know what I'm saying? So here we go. Mama in the house. Go ahead. Could it be?
Big ups, my
There it
fellow
is.
detractors.
Big
and
ups.
Alt, I will forever think of you as Rambo Bambo.
Thank you.
Anyway, this one is meant to be silly.
Hey, listen.
So do
that's a fucking tag, all right? Legend. Go ahead.
not beep me, okay?
Whoa, hold on. Go ahead.
Forever think of you as Rambo Bambo.
Okay.
Anyway, this one is meant to be silly, so do not beep me.
Okay, wait. I choose the beeps, but go
Okay.
ahead. I choose the beeps.
There are all kinds of theories that have been put forth out there, and they're all just great, funny, serious, etc.
Go ahead.
I'm going to try to make this one short and sweet. So, what if this is the ultimate great snakening? What if DSP is down there at Hogan's Bar
Okay.
with PPP and Andy?
Okay.
PPP did offer to pay for the trip.
I'm getting closer.
Now, that doesn't mean Cat is with him. Somebody's got to watch the menagerie of animals.
Obviously.
But what if? Or maybe she did go and this is sort of a honeymoon.
Oh, no.
Anyway, take care, everybody. Alt is not old. I'm older. Bye-bye.
Look at that. Look at that. No beep. Never beeping it. My mama in the house. I never would beep that. Never could, never would. Everyone else is coping. Big ups. I like it. Going to the honeymoon again. Possible. Very possible. Not beeping shit. Caustic Maine says, clearly DSP and his big heart are volunteering in Texas. Now this one, I can. Big ups, Caustic Maine. Mickey Thor says his return flight was overbooked. He took the cash and hotel offer to switch flights. He keeps doing this every day. Now that's a funny one, at least. Listen, honey, they'll say we can stay at a hotel longer. Nah, he would be pissed. He would not see that as a positive. He would see that as a negative and say, you know how much money I'm losing right now? That kind of shit. It would not happen. But it's a funny thought nonetheless. But yeah, he's not losing that cash. You know what I mean? All right. Uh-oh. Scott Steiner called in too? Oh my God. All right, Scott Steiner, go ahead.
She's fat!
There you go. Thanks, Scott. Next time, if you could make more like so we know it's you, it would be hype, you know? Right now, it's not so hype. People don't believe it's you. All right, let's go. Talby!
Greetings once again, Ancient One. Talby here. I think early on, I think first day, I called in and said, hey, I think, it's nothing. It's Phil. Everything he does is nothing. Mm-hmm. But we're on like almost a full week here. It's something. I'm fully bought into team parents. I think he's visiting his parents. I don't think anybody's like on their deathbed or anything like that. But I fully subscribe to the theory that he was going to go there for 2, maybe 3 days. Yep. And mommy bribed him with some sweet, sweet cash to get him to stay for a full week. I'm with you. I think he'll be back Sunday or Monday. And then I think he's going to try to do some kind of like, I can't talk about anything in my life because the trolls are deranged, using, calls like this as an example for how crazy and deranged we are. Big ups. Love the show. Talk later.
So Talby made me think about something here. We're reaching a point where, like, let's say he just comes back on Monday and you can't really say nothing. You can't, like, okay, if you have a show like that and you're trying to, talk about your life like Philip always does, if you just say it's personal, there's this kind of weight that is added to the show. Like it's like a balloon that needs to be popped before the show can continue. And you can get past those moments by just continuing to stream, right? If you just continue on like nothing happened, eventually the balloon does float away. But it will take time. So I'm not sure you can just say like it was private. You know what I'm saying? Like that's after what, a week and say it's just private? I think that's kind of, you know, of course you could say as much or as little as you want in this kind of situation. But a week, and he's going to say, well, guys, nothing happened. All right, guys, so we're going to play Death Stranding 2 today. I think Philip knows that he has to at least make something up worse than that. It can't be nothing. That's just, no one's going to be like, okay, guys, well, let's focus on games again. Cool. You know? He has to talk about something from the week, you know? But who knows? Matafox says, heading to the Unicorn this weekend, who's coming? Oh, a lot of people. That's all I'm going to say is a lot of people. We're going together? Not that. Not that. We're going together? Not that. Not them. And I'm wearing this. This is the dress code. Any questions? I didn't think so. That was all from yesterday, by the way. Who are the girls? So if the girls are a question, that means you weren't here yesterday. We were talking about gals in Japan yesterday. There you go. Yesterday was a wild show if you haven't seen it yet. Oh my God. It wasn't that wild. It was similar to today. Big ups, Notifox. JetMaxo90 says, my guess, Jasper-related Mega Ultra Bag incoming. My only debunk of that is, why not say it then? Why not say to the beautiful public about Jasper and how I'm doing a good thing for Jasper? I think that's pretty easy, right? I think. But who knows? Could be Jasper-related. Definitely could be. Okay, let's get to some video stuff. Definitely a lot of theories still want to get to. But let's do some stuff I have for us here. So this is Hex is Gone Gaming. 3 years ago, he's created a video for us about how DSPs will end. DSP gaming. How will DSP gaming end? Okay, so here we go.
The other thing that's very alarming is that I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill.
Following the leaks, Phil is arrested for tax evasion and misconduct. He spends the rest of his days in jail. Kat divorces him and remarries Tyrone shortly after. His parents disown him.
The internet bill and the incredible amount of games, new games that I'll be buying. Just in particular, this week coming up, I'm buying 3 games.
The WWE ending. Making me work for this one. I got to read them all. Phil gets sponsored by WWE champions. His content becomes even more boring, if that were possible. Streaming only WWE champions causes his audience to decline even further. Viewership interaction is at an all-time low, but Phil doesn't care since he has a steady income and his mobile gaming expenses are taken care of by his contractor. That's the WWE ending. That's Phil's happy ending, yes. Uh-oh, the bad ending. Okay? Phil continues to scam people and beg online. Eventually, he invests in opening a small store. Having another source of income, he simply vanishes from the internet. He gets away with everything, suffers no repercussions whatsoever. He continues to be as toxic in his day-to-day life. His pigs go rabid for a couple of days before dispersing.
What? Scammers. I'm an evil, dirty, heinous scammer who steals money from little children. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on?
Phil dies of alcohol. The sad ending next. Phil dies of alcohol poisoning after too much gin. The doctors try their best, but Phil's gout causes complications. His body is too toxic, and so he dies. Nobody attends his funeral, not even his parents. I appreciate this one the most because it's funny to think that the gout causes complications. Doctor, you can't operate on this person. He has gout. You didn't tell me that. Why didn't you tell me that earlier? He has gout. He needs to go to the gout hospital.
Negative.
Come on.
And the truth of the
twist ending. It's revealed that everything Phil ever claimed or said over the years is actually true. All his cheap excuses, blatant lies, and ridiculous accusations are actually proven correct. The perpetrators who messed with Phil for 15 years are caught and arrested. The internet collectively apologizes to DSP. Oh,
the matter is, a lot of the stuff that's been negative said about me on the internet over the years, if you do
that's the nightmare.
5 minutes of research.
That's the twist ending, by the way. This is the twist ending.
Phil stole money from his patrons because he never made Project 7.
Yes.
That's 100% a lie. If you do 5 minutes of research, you'll get the truth and see how completely different the truth is, but they don't want to.
I got it, Kyle. Degenerate ending. Derek's degeneracy leeches off on DSP. He turns into a full-blown pervert and keeps having more accidents where he forgets his camera's on. Eventually, beating it in front of kids doesn't satisfy his urges anymore. After YouTube steps in and terminates his account, DSP will claim it was actually his choice to delete his account and convince his cat to join him as he streams on Live Jasmine. Is Live Jasmine still up? There, DSP doesn't have to correct himself when he calls Cat Mom because it's part of the act. Good one. It's part of the act. Yeah, they pay for that. TSM. All right, get past this. TSM. We got it.
Thanks, Derek.
The good ending. Philip, a DSP, leaves YouTube for 5 years and gets a job. He goes to therapy to cure his gambling addiction and his gin obsession. He works to become a better person. Loses weight, hits the gym, shaves. Eventually, he returns and does a charity stream where he tracks down his pay pigs and refunds them. He apologizes and makes up for all his mistakes. He reconnects with his family and friends. Him and Rambo are bros. Shut up. Him and Rambo are bros again. After becoming a beacon of morality, him and Kat have a beautiful baby daughter, Leia Burnell. No! You were the chosen one! It was supposed to be you! No, okay. This is what actually happened to that answer, though.
Created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. Mm-hmm. We made this one up.
Okay.
It's a made-up tale.
Yeah.
It's a total fabrication.
Oh,
it never happened.
Shoot.
It never happened.
Oh, no.
This one was invented by a writer.
Huh?
Not this time. It
What?
never happened. It's false. It never happened.
All right. Let's go. LGBT ending. Okay. The LGBT ending is Phil finally comes out of the closet and divorces Kat. Kat commits unalive as a result. Phil remarries Tyrone and they adopt more cats. Nothing changes. His parents become slightly more distant. Oh, let's see what music they chose real quick. Let's see what music they chose. Let's see. I'm going to play it.
I want to watch some faggot and some
Okay.
homo. You go on YouTube. I want to watch some guy throw around all kinds of insulting slurs constantly. Well, here we go again.
Uh-oh. Deathstroke ending. DSP throws a tantrum and hits his head on the Xbox controller as he spazzes out. He splits personality and thinks he is Deathstroke. He goes on a rampage, tracking down and assassinating his trolls, Panda Lee, even Cat. Police seize him as he attacks John Rambo. DSP manages to break free of the cops' hold, but loses his weapons in the process. Him and Rambo have one last epic fist fight.
In lag, I can't move. I can't even stand up.
Deathstroke ending.
I hate this idiot. Come on, man. Do you want to play the fucking game? Seriously, just kill me. Here, I'm just going to walk forward. You can just keep shooting my body. Because you're such a good player that this is how you earn your win. So no, come on. Keep hitting me. Come on, keep hitting me.
The true ending. The true ending. Phil keeps moving forward as if nothing ever happens. He keeps doing his toxic streams and begging for money, and it works just fine. After some years, maybe a decade, he gets tired of WWE Champions, and with that gone, he also loses motivation for streams. He lives off of welfare for the rest of his life. Cat still goes to work, though. I'm just reading them as they come, guys.
Around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, going.
Phil could. Oh, wow, there's more to this one. Oh, this is the cringe ending. Excuse me, the cringe ending. Phil's parents confront him as a result of his credit leaks. They force him to shut down his YouTube and move back to their home. Cat leaves him. DSP spends the rest of his days working at KFC, being a fat weirdo that lives with his parents.
Going nowhere.
I didn't cut the music, they did.
I'm a mature adult, and I'm not a children's entertainer. Time.
I'll leave that on. Big ups to the person who made that. This is Hex is Gone Gaming. Never saw this video before. It only 5,000 views from 2021. Never saw that one before. Big ups. Oh, you're time stamped to something there, but who cares? That's the video. Big ups to James, who says, Phil was approached while shopping at the weekend and was told there would be consequences if he streamed or begged again. Funny idea, but big ups, James. I think I'm not sure what the person threatening him would be threatening, right? Okay, as many of you pointed out, Len the Deranged has a similar style video, but you know I'm always 2 steps ahead. I got both of them ready for us. Do you want the good one or the bad one first? Which one do you want to see first? The good or the bad? Which one do you want? All right, Brianna said bad first. All right, I'll go with the first one I saw. You said bad first. We go to the bad ending first. Here we go. This is from Len the Deranged, the legend. Been in the studio before. Len the Deranged. Here we go. Everyone say, too bad. I did what I did first. Brianna won. Blame her. Blame Brianna if you don't think he's going to win. Go. Here we go.
And so it ended in the man's death, as every person's tale does.
Go ahead.
The man known as Darkside Phil Burnell, died live on stream. The combination of rampant alcoholism, gout, terrible diet, recent $4,000 chargebacks, and a double perfect in Street Fighter 7 was too much for his weak
Street
heart.
Fighter 7?
The gaming community at first didn't even know who Darkside Phil was, let alone care about his passing. But then they remembered him as the guy who masturbated on stream and who was legitimately terrible at every game he played. There was no mention in any mainstream source about DSP's passing. Only those in isolated communities cared to know this.
Yeah.
It was a testament to the isolationism, toxic personality, and pariah status he created all by himself.
Huh? You've done that yourself.
Ket found her vile husband dead on the ground only after the stench of decomposition filled the house. She felt only a selfish sadness, lamenting the loss of her own pay pig and sugar daddy.
Her own pay pig.
DSP Gaming, along with his other channels, fell silent. No longer were inboxes flooded with notifications. Many detractor archivists painstakingly downloaded every single video of his as an ongoing effort to immortalize his failings.
That will absolutely happen. If it hasn't happened already, I'm sure someone's downloaded everything, haven't they? Well, yeah, I guess that's one of the things you hope is happening. But, like, you know, like, at this point, you'd think it'd last forever, but who knows? There's some shit that's still already gone, so...
Panda Lee was greatly annoyed when told of Phil's death as she was living a happy, goutless life. Her anger hit a genuine hurt as she knew she was the only person who ever truly cared about him. Initially,
Jeez! Oh, God! Len, the deranged, is not not pulling punches here.
Truly cared about him.
Oof.
Initially, John Rambo wanted to offer any kind of statement about his former friend's passing. But he decided the last piece of respect he could offer his prodigal friend was to carry his own thoughts in silence. DSP's friends would have mourned him, if he had any. His family, fatigued by his endless incompetence and reckless finances, were frankly relieved at his passing. His mother thought about her son, took a deep drag of her cigarette and belched, should have gotten him that damn figure. Jasper Kitty, completing his mission as a deep cover operative, retired. He spent the rest of his life happily dosed up on catnip, gorging on salmon, and breathing the fresh, clean air he had been deprived of for years. Ket sold all of the stupid shit her dead husband collected for pennies on the dollar. When that ran out, she wrote a best-selling book about her time being married to the pig roach.
I would buy it. I would
She
buy
was
it.
finally glad something of worth came from him.
I would chill. Honestly.
Darkside Phil's phone had been misplaced during Ket's purge of his shit. Eventually, the battery died and the servers went down. The sweaty man JPEGs that Phil loved more than anything or anyone in the world combined vanished.
No! No!
DSP's lobotomites insisted that his death was a troll conspiracy. But as the pig gnosis wore off, they moved on into the wastelands of the internet for other degenerates to throw themselves at the feet of. After the detractors made their videos and hilarious parodies of Darkside Phil dying on stream, they moved on to cover other lolcows and scammers, of which there is no short supply. Some still covered him from a historical perspective, amusing people for years to come.
Oh, God. Before we do Tevin, this is DSP watching this right now.
Don't let me leave, Murph.
As Phil's last words while dying were, "It's Tevin's fault." Almighty Tevin was apprehended and brought in for questioning. But his alibi of playing Z-tier games while watching the Saints lose cleared him. At first he was furious, but then realized it was only fitting for Phil to be a sleazy asshole one last time from beyond the grave.
There we go.
Hideo Kojima was genuinely confused when told DSP had died. Someone explained it was the guy he had seen flipping out while playing his game. To which, Kojima smiled and softly whispered, "This is how you don't stay alive."
Oh! What a king!
Low-tier god, furious that his likeliness was presented in this video, set out to flag the channel. Even if he were to succeed, mirrors would be re-uploaded, making his efforts, much like himself as a person, utterly meaningless.
LTG taking strays.
Philip Burnell left behind a legacy of grift, shamelessness, toxicity, dishonesty, narcissism, manipulation, incompetence, delusion, and sloth. The damage he dealt was tempered only by his own laziness and obscurity. Of this, humanity can be thankful. It is unlikely anyone else will equal his unique levels of failure. So ends his story. The internet brings countless unique characters into the lives of many. Some strive to make the world a hellish place. Others seek only to bring happiness to others. And others are destined for obscurity. The internet will continue to bring joy, grief, inspiration, aggravation, and ever more lolcows.
Great fucking video, Len. That is an awesome video. That's just a great one. It's an out-of-the-box video, but it knows what it wants to do and makes it happen. Serious, butt jokes too, you know? It's a great video. It's a great video. And we're not done because there's another one too. Good choice on that. We just need we need more of these kind of videos from Len. That's what I'm wondering. Come on, Len. We need more of the Len script style. I'm down with this. Smiles in the House has a theory and says the vest came to life and locked him in the closet. I'm down for all theories though. Big ups to Smiles. BR Joe says Dave's house was built on an ancient Duwamish burial ground, and his baby rages have awakened the spirits which reside in the corner of his office, and he's hired a shaman to exorcise the Snort Fort. W idea, but I do have to buzz it, BR Joe, as you might expect. But I like that thinking. The baby rages have awakened the spirits. Baby rages do sometimes awaken spirits. That is true. Okay, the fun doesn't stop because there's another version of this video that we just enjoyed. It's called The Good Ending. This one's a little bit more far-fetched, but it's still very good. Very good. Big Us, formerly Chuck, says his parents came to visit, but his mom had a medical emergency after seeing Kat because she's an orb. I think she knew about Kat's situation long before. Remember when she tried to get exercise bike? Many years ago. Okay, The Good Ending. Here we go. Same maker, Len the Deranged.
And so it ended in the man's death, as every person's tale does. The man known by family and friends as Dark Side Dave, Philip Burnell, died peacefully in his sleep at the age of 78. He was survived by his loving wife and son.
So, already we're having, let's say, timeline issues.
The news of Dave's passing sent ripples through the gaming community.
No!
This early pioneer had adapted to new innovations, embraced his trolls and their memes, and brought stellar coverage of video games. He was humbled by this as How You Don't plays, and with the help of his fans and detractors alike, trailblazed this new genre. The format became as renowned as the tried and true highlight reel.
Oh my god!
With his passing came a renewal of interest in him.
DSP and Evil AJ working together since that moment? Incredible.
And generations to come were delighted by the personality that was Dark Side Dave.
Hell yeah.
Many local newspapers announced Dave's passing. Several of these sources mentioned his time as an internet content creator. This came as a shock as Dave had been known for decades as a modest family man who worked hard for a living. His community watched his quality content and felt a new greater connection to their late neighbor. Dave had been found the morning after his death by his adoring wife. While pain consumed her, she was happy that he passed so peacefully, by her side.
Oh my god. That's the craziest one so far. Go ahead.
Joined her late husband a few years later. Her last thought was of the time she had spent with the love of her life.
Come on, Len.
She was truly glad to have found a man who only placed her first and wasn't a selfish prick.
No! Panda!
John Rambo had always stayed in contact with Dave, long past their times as internet content creators. They worked extensively together afterwards when Dave got into real estate and development. John Rambo spoke earnestly at Dave's wake, reminiscing on their old business relationship that placed camaraderie before monetary gain.
Rambo! Come back!
Family, friends, and colleagues alike attended Dave's funeral. Those from both of Dave's worlds, online and off, came to celebrate the entirety of Dave, his accomplishments, and his adventures. Phil Jr. had grown into a decent man. His father's tutelage saw his endearing traits passed on to the son. Phil Jr. would move on to his own dreams, never following in his father's work.
There he is.
There was no sadness, as
Look
Phil
at Little Horn Towns
Jr. had been encouraged to embrace his own destiny. Ket waited for her knight in shining armor to save her, but he never came. She eventually grew to accept watching Marvel movies when she didn't want to. DSD's phone, full of WWE apps due to his sponsorship with WWE, was passed on to his wife. but she coveted it for the trove of videos and photos Dave had taken of the adventures he had with his family. DSD's fanbase had seen unprecedented growth during his time as a content creator. Most YouTube content creators could say they traced their inspiration back to Dave. His fanbase saw the absorption of his detractors as he demonstrated the humility to take their criticisms and put honest effort into improving himself and his content. In this way, he became
This is the craziest part so far, the normal people.
an example for celebrities in general to emulate. Dave's few remaining detractors engaged in a childish and petty celebration of his death.
Oh, look, there's the detractors. There's Len on the right. There's Snood in the middle. I'm not there. I don't know where I am. There's Meerkat on the left. Sam, Steve. I'm not there.
They were shamed and ridiculed into submission, shouted off the internet into the dark corners they dwelled in. Tevin had used the money he made collaborating with Dave on This Is How You Don't Plays to move to a city with a winning football team. When he heard Dave had died,
wait, what?
It's How You Don't Plays to move to a city with a winning.
Tevin had used the money he made collaborating with Dave on This Is How You Don't Plays to move to a city with a winning football team.
When he heard Dave had died, he loaded up Street Fighter one last time to honor the fallen. As he played, he felt his old impression resurface, letting loose of what? Oh, I was blacking. Hideo Kojima had been a fan of the This Is How You Don't Plays that Dave helped to pioneer.
God damn it,
In honor
Glenn.
of Dave, he included a reference in his last game, giving a character a secret dialogue where he struggled to use his rations.
Oh my god. This one hits too. Can you imagine? This is more this, right? Like, this one is actually more requiring this. You know what I'm saying? Like this feeling.
Don't let me leave, Murph.
This one, right? Like this one hits more, kind of.
Don't let me leave, Murph.
Don't let me leave, Hideo! Kojima-san! No! No! Evil AJ! No! AJ! Like that was more, right?
Giving a character a secret dialogue where he struggled to use his rations.
Don't let me rage, AJ! Don't let me rage, AJ!
Last game, giving a character a secret dialogue where he struggled to use his rations. Dale Sparrow appeared in bit roles for 3 TV shows and a single indie movie. He found that his dream wasn't what he thought it would be.
Yeah, cool.
So he used his money from his acting gigs to finance his own gym, Tears Gym, to reasonable success.
Cool, Tears Gym.
The Dark Side Dave channel, formerly the Dark Side Phil channel, had gone silent nearly 40 years ago. Dave had gotten a job per his viewers' suggestions and gradually uploaded less and less content. He eventually founded a company that saw Dave stop uploading altogether. Dave's Realty, the culmination of Philip Burnell's work, was sold off as outlined in his will. The money from this supported his remaining family even unto his eventual grandchildren.
Great buy from the guy. That's what it says.
Dave Burnell's legacy was one of hilarity, humility, camaraderie, cooperation, irreverence, and success. His few slip-ups, scandalous events, and disasters were always recovered from by heeding the advice of fans and detractors alike. He made his mark and fortune, then transitioned into a family man.
Oh my god.
The internet saw many stars crumble and fall amidst the pressure. But Dave demonstrated an ideal route away from life on the internet.
No, no. Rambo!
So ends his story. The internet brings countless unique characters into the lives of many.
No,
Some
Rambo.
strive to make the
Not
world
the
a hellish
t-shirts.
place.
Don't do the
Others seek only to
t-shirts.
bring happiness to others. And others are destined for obscurity. The internet will continue to bring joy, grief, inspiration, aggravation, and ever more lolcows.
There we go. Ending it the same way as that one. There we go. The good ending. I think, man, what's more brutal, right? I don't know. They're both pretty fucking bad. I would hope the second one would be more like motivating if that was you in that situation. But who the fuck knows? Yeah. No, Rambo! You don't need that weekend of unplugging. Rambo! Just call, Rambo. Just call. Jasper the cat in the house says, Styrofoam mountain collapsed, trapping cat. Well, come on. You know I gotta hit it. But I like it, Jasper. Love to hear from you, Jasper. Big Bully says, PPP, she's dead. Let's see what Triple P does say, though.
He's in disbelief that there's no support coming in.
Like, that's true. That's just a true statement. Right now. That's happening right now. Big Us, Big Bully. Greed of the Green says, Cat left him and he's going to come back troon out like Jim Sterling. Don't think that's going to happen. Adult with a business degree says, in a bit of karmic... I'll read it like a Lens video. In a bit of karmic revenge, Phil got in a car accident in CT and can't leave until it gets sorted out. Can't buzzer that. But, you know, that's one of those things that could be, but I can't buzzer it. I'm not thinking it's a high chance, but I thought that's not going to be a buzzer for sure. All right, things are very sus in Renton. Go.
Something is very off. Phil would have came back by now, say, hey guys, look how the tractors need me for content. Look how much they're fighting with each other. They need me for content. They need to eat. Look how they're hyper-focused on speculating.
Mm-hmm.
But we are in Thursday. This is not something. He might come back and then see how we're acting. With my previous point, but technically we don't need Phil. We can look back at his old stuff. We want to. It's fun to make him think we're hyper focused about him. But now it's getting suspicious.
There you go. Not a real theory shared there, but yeah, it's getting more suspicious by the second. So here we go. Super Commie Jizzler, go ahead.
Greetings, Ancient One.
Oh, come on.
My theory revolves around the guy who called earlier saying he called...
What are you doing? A printing press?
It revolves on that statement being true. And
Get off my show! What is this? A printing press happening right now? Put the fucking... put the loom down, brother. Come on. What are you doing? Let me hear this again.
That just cements that Philip is in Connecticut begging his his wife mom.
Get off my show! Too much ancient work being done. What is that? What was that? Manolo Azul says, could all of this be a scheme to finally get the over 3,000 goal when he comes back to show he could get it without being like the casino? That's too forward thinking. But yet, there is that opportunity he might open up to himself, but that's not the reason he's doing it. You know what I mean? Like, the reason he's doing it is not that, but yet he might try to pull that out of his ass and say, well, guys, I've been gone. It'd be a great time. It'd be a great time to help me get that new best goal ever. Go ahead. Right after the fact. He's not going to think ahead that far. But afterthought, you know what I mean? Big ups to Big Mime on campus. And that was not my nickname in college. Mine started with the little, but that's as far as I'm willing to go in public. It says, love the show, young man. I think DSP finally had a stroke and is too embarrassed to go live during recovery. Remember during Doom when his eyes were blinking at different times? Fuck. God damn it. God damn it.
He had a stroke. He's mushmouth.
Asynchronous blinking is an early sign of stroke. Asynchronous. 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 Can I have it in a sentence? Yes. Asynchronous blinking is an early sign of stroke. Can I get the country of origin? Yes, it's of Latin origin. Thank you. Asynchronous. Asynchronous. ASYNCHRONOS. God damn it! I missed one U. It's fine. Matt Ice says, multiverses means this absolutely is the case. Which one, Matt Ice? Multiverses. That I need to know which multiverses means this. What is this in this? Oh, both endings. Okay, both endings. Oh yeah, there is some universe in which that is the case. Correct. You mean the actual multiverses? It's all happening at the same time. Which is, once you start going down that rabbit hole, you know, it's just like at some point we got to bring it together. We got to pull it back in. Because once you start believing in multiverses, there's a whole lot of other shit you got to start believing in. It's like, all right, there's only so far I can go. You know what I mean? Iwamoto, right after Mad Ice says, right, is there's a multiverse where ALT got married to Kat. Like, if you believe in multiverses, that is true, right? But like, you know, if you believe in infinity, because infinity is a real thing. But one thing someone said that blew my mind back in the day, who knows when it was, but if you believe in infinity and all that entails, infinity, if you put let's say a chimpanzee in front of a type machine, they will type the entire Bible out without missing a stroke. If you believe in infinity, if you have infinity typewriters and infinity chimpanzees typing on that typewriter, one of them will write the entire Bible without missing anything. That's just, it's tough to wrap your head around that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Anyways, moving on positively here. Let's go for Crample Smurf. 20 seconds. Go!
This isn't so much as a theory as it is like an idea to go with a theory. But imagine if like the funeral's going on for Linda right now, and he like deadpan straight face says to Kat, "Oh, we can consider this our honeymoon too." Just food for thought, you know. Thanks, Grandpa.
Get off my show. We could. If he tries to call a trip to go see Linda as a little bit of a honeymoon, that will be a very fucked up thing to do. That's all I'm gonna say. That will be a very fucked up thing to say. Anyways, Midnight Kostoff says, legal trouble would explain the radio silence. That is one reasonable theory as to radio silence, why radio silence exists. That is fair. Doesn't mean it is the one, but it is possible that is the reason. Next up, for fun field trip, we're going to go to the parents' visit of 2016 and the aftermath, okay? So this video is a great look into how Philip thinks about his parents, okay? That's what we're going to watch this video for, is how does Philip really think about his parents after they left his house in 2016, okay? Let's go.
But my parents helped us with the backyard.
Oh, hold on.
What's up, everyone? DSP here. And after a long week of my parents visiting from the state of Connecticut and coming to the state of Washington, we have completed many different home improvement efforts. I'd like to do a short video here showing some of these to you. First of all, this is Leanna's new office. And when I say new, I mean, holy crap, does this place look different now that it is blue. I mean, it was
some shoddy work up here. Not sure who did that. Tape not working out up there. I know what that. The reason I know about this fuck up is because I did that same fuck up. Chu asked me to paint the bathroom, and she wanted it in the Attack on Titan Scout green. You know, so I did use tape. Waifu CT. I did use tape. I used tape, but for some reason, there's a little bit of a air hole in the tape. So I was just trusting the tape, but don't trust the tape because the tape lies. Because there's a little bit of a line snuck in under the tape, and I couldn't fix it. I didn't have any white either. So we're just going to hope she doesn't see it. Keep it a secret between us. Do not say it. Do not say it. Do not say it. If you ever see her there, do not tell her.
Used to be this ugly shade of orange. And we had a sectional piece of our couch downstairs that didn't fit in our living room, that always kind of stayed in the corner of her office, that took up way too much room. Now it looks so much better and different. She's got her desk set up nicely. She hasn't fully set everything up yet. She's actually working on setting up the office, but We still have the fan to get the nasty new paint smell out of here. It's probably still going to be here for like a week, and we're going to have to keep running it. Okay. But it is nice for what it is, right? These new things.
This is where Kat was before she kind of moved to downstairs.
Has here to store all of her gaming stuff and also her business stuff, which is excellent. She's got some nice succulent plants.
Shout outs to the succulents.
Parents actually got for her to put into the office, and you know, it's a nice setup overall. She's even got her brand new PC, which we had to buy right before my parents arrived because her old PC died and she needs it for her business, so had to get her one. And you know, she also does gameplay.
Wow, hear that?
PC died and she needs it for her business, so had to get her one.
Could you say that more condescendingly, please? Try it again, Philip.
Before my parents arrived because her old PC died and she needs it for her business.
Oh my God, for her business. Oh God, it's fucking business. These goddamn soaps don't mean shit. For her business.
So had to get her one, and you know, she also does. Her old PC died and she needs it for her business, so had to get her one. And you know, she also does gameplay and stuff for her YouTube channel.
Had to get her one.
So yeah, this is the new office, night and day from what it used to look like. And now the sectional that we used to have in here, we now can fit in the nook, because if you were not aware, last year I spent a lot of time trying to sell my models.
How'd that go?
Or statues, which are part of my collection from back when I lived in Connecticut and I was a bachelor, okay? As you can see.
And I was a bachelor, okay?
There they are. There's still many of them in the back of the storage nook here. But I sold, I'd probably say, at least a third of them last year, which gave a lot of room. And so there's the sectional. We were able to put it in here with a lot of old, outdated stuff we don't need. We actually found out we can dump these chairs, not dump, but we can donate these chairs or give them away to certain areas, and we may do that soon. To make
yeah, he means the woods.
More room, because ideally what we'd like to do is use this nook for something, and we can't. It's just all storage from shit that from when we moved. And
isn't that supposed to be storage, though?
You know, statues I haven't yet sold. So yeah, so that's in there now.
Look at all those loot crates. Oh my God. Look how much wasted plastic. Like loot crate. Think about, I know you could do this for anything at all, but just right now I'm focusing on loot crate. Think about how much worthless pieces of trash have been submitted to the universe from Loot Crate. Look, like this is just DSP. It looks like a fucking Loot Crate warehouse.
So
right
her
now.
office looks way better now.
Yeah,
So that's just one of the many improvements.
You know?
Okay, another major improvement that we made is our garage. Now, as you can see, Leanna is currently at work, so the car's not here. But it was always this right-hand side of the garage.
Here's the good part.
That was an absolute nightmare, all right? When we moved here, we had all these storage bins from moving all of our stuff here, and they were just sitting here in... We had all these storage bins from moving all of our stuff here, and they...
I don't... Is that English? Close and what? It does say close. What's the bottom? M-O-W... A monitor.
They were just sitting here in stacks to this high, blocking this whole area. In addition, tons of shit was left behind by the previous owner.
At this point, he's been living here for 2 years, by the way, just letting you know. 2 years.
There's tools. They used to do car work and stuff in here. It was an absolute nightmare. This garage was unworkable. There was shit everywhere. So my dad and I went through here one day. We took a whole day, and we basically threw out a ton of shit from the previous owners.
Hey, Dad, you're here. You want to get to work real quick? I got a very dirty closet.
We took the two of us.
How long's it been dirty, son? Well, since I've been here, actually.
To do it on a ladder, but we got all of the storage bins up in this upper level of storage, so now I can actually use stuff. And it's amazing because now we've got this workbench, right? This now is somewhere where Leanna can do some stuff with her soap making. We actually got some soap making ingredients and stuff up here.
Oh.
Down here we've got her gardening stuff now, all kind of set up in these drawers, or these drawer and cabinet. I've actually finally, for the first time ever, I've got somewhere to put tools.
Hey, look at this! Look at this tool man! All the essentials. We got a wrench. We got a still in the wrapping wire stripper, maybe. We got. I can't tell what's on the bottom. And then we have a hose. You always need a hose. You know, those are any good any good toolbox begins and ends with the hose. You know that. That's bolt cutters. Yeah, bolt cutters in the packaging? What's that for?
And stuff for the house, so I can actually
got that nozzle. You gotta have a good NOS. You never know when you need a good new NOS.
do my own kind of thing. Look, my own kind of stuff.
This is blue collar. Open up the drawer. What do you get? You get a mask, 2 different types of glasses, 2 random spray paint, and a hammer. Honey, where's my hammer? You know, it's in the paint and goggle drawer. Oh, thanks. Where's the nozzle? It's in the NOS drawer.
Pay attention. Use this stuff in the garage. I've lived here for 2 years and never been able to do it, if you can believe it. But in addition to that, this is stuff we got to get rid of. This is stuff left behind by the previous owners. Paint cans with only a little bit of paint in them. So
those are so I know you're not supposed to do it, but I've done it. Just put it in your trash can. It goes away. Who cares?
To open them up and dry them out so I could throw them out.
They're dry. They're already dried out. Just throw it away.
Fire extinguishers that I have to do research on how to dispose of them, and these 2 wastebasket things.
I wouldn't put a whole fucking paint can in the trash, but I'm putting out about, if there's 15% left of a can, it's going in the trash can.
I'm going to probably have to chop up or something. I don't know.
Chop up?
How to dispose of.
Oh my God. Did he say he's going to chop up the wastebasket?
Them and these 2 wastebasket things. I'm going to probably have to chop up or something.
Chop
I don't know.
up?
But the coolest thing is I can finally.
Chop up? He's going to chop up a plastic trash can? Chop up? I don't think he knows what a dump is at this point, I guess. Chop up. Yeah, hold on. What are you going to chop up today, honey? Well, I got to chop up the plastic trash cans. The hampers, honey. You know that.
I'm going to probably have to chop up or something. I don't know. But
Chop
the coolest
up.
thing is I can finally use these storage lockers. Finally, they're emptied of all the shit that these previous owners had in them.
Thank God we have hose. I was really worried about we wouldn't have a good hose. But as you can see, there is unopened hose. Big ups.
And now we go to Sam's Club. Look, we bought in bulk. We buy things like paper towels.
Look at
things
us.
like paper plates and stuff. We put them at the bottom there.
Hell yeah, you gotta have the plates.
We've got, a yard hose, some Italian ices we just bought at Sam's Club last night. We're going to use for the summer. Some different, holiday things we used to decorate outside. And we actually have somewhere to freaking put them now. I can't believe,
This is not a very well organized household.
2 years I've lived here. Haven't been able to use any.
Honey, where are the paper plates? Beneath the pumpkins. You saw them? Oh, okay, thanks. Where's the Italian ice, Philip? Next to the pumpkins. What do you think?
Anything in the garage because it was a mess. And my dad hooked me up. Well, didn't hook me up. He helped me out to clean it out.
You could say hooked you up, though. That would be fine. Petchy says, Phil is losing time listening to the ka-ching entries on repeat. I think that's closest to true. He's had the headphones. He's rocking out. Kim, you are someone. That's the best.
Because it was a mess. And again, 2 years I've lived here. Haven't been able to use anything in the garage because it was a mess. And my dad hooked me up. Well, didn't hook me up. He helped me out.
You could say he hooked you up.
This is all the leftovers from the home improvements we did up here anyway.
All right, get past this part. We got this
There's
part.
some perspective here.
Yeah.
How much space
you get the perspective.
I now have in this garage versus when I was doing the green screen stuff, I couldn't even move over here because this was
You have done that yourself.
all like from here to here was just piles of shit.
2
and
years.
I have time to clean it up myself. A day that I take off to do that, I don't work, I don't make money, I can't support the business, right?
There you go. So even missing one stream to clean up the garage was impossible back then because he can't stop working.
So having the time off this week was great. Of course, here's the green screen, which I haven't used since the middle of 2015, and you know why, with all the false copyright shit and stuff that went against me. I still leave it here because actually it's going to be more.
That would be a full year of the green screen just sitting there.
More difficult if I take it down and then rebuild it than if I just leave it here, because it's not hurting anything. These things were incredibly difficult to build, these light boxes.
These are on the trash.
I really don't want to do them again, so I'm leaving them here for now. I mean, hey, fingers crossed, right? YouTube is changing. Maybe by the end of this year, they won't be able to fucking false flag me for fucking copyright shit and stuff anymore. Who knows, right? But anyway, that's the new improved garage. Here's our next door.
Transition by DSP Gaming, by the way. Check this out. Watch this flex.
But anyway, that's the new improved garage. Alright, so the last thing I'd actually like to show you, I'm not going to make too much noise because sometimes our next door neighbor has a small dog that barks, and I don't want to get him barking and get all riled up here because I'm going out back. But my parents helped us with the backyard. Take a look out here. So we actually had these plants already. They were already set up and growing here. But the problem was
Look how quiet he got.
had a ton of weeds that kept creeping through these stones that we have in the backyard here. And it was really annoying. And
you know what that probably looks like now? I'm guessing. This is current abode, yes. I'm guessing those are all green. All green. There Rehab says, he looks like someone who knows something we don't. Like he's got a secret and is keeping it all to himself. I will agree with that. I know what you're talking about, too. You're talking about this. It does seem to be he knows something we don't. I will agree with that 100%.
I am not here tomorrow.
One more time.
I am not here Sunday. I want to remind you all, I'm not here for the next 2 days. I come back on Monday, hopefully refreshed and renewed.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. But what does that mean? Who knows, right? GBRC says, Watership down, ALT, come on now, rabbits at war. No, long time ago. NWO News says, Phil had a stroke and waiting for his face to fix. Okay, there's a few theories like that. Maybe a boil or something on the face. Maybe some kind of discoloration he's embarrassed about. Yeah, definitely. Twerk to Spec says maybe momentum will lure him back. How's he going to get momentum? GBRC says, nothing screams respect for supporters more than saying, I don't know when I'm coming back, and I'm not saying why. You get it? That means it has to be something serious, right? But not that he cares about what his supporters think about him, right? That's the other key. Let's go. Cole, bad guy.
Hey, Unc. What if Tyrone went for a visit to the Snort Fort, and Phil did some shit to piss him off, and Tyrone threatened to bust a cap in his ass, as they say, and now Phil's been hiding in his closet, his newly cleaned closet, for the past 5 days.
Funny, but no. But unfortunately, no. Let's go. Fish Tank Enjoyer, go.
Hey, ALT. I was just wondering, some of these calls got me wondering, because I'm pretty convinced that he's out of town.
Yeah.
But if he is, what did he look like going to the airport? He probably was like a fucking fugitive trying to get away because he knows he's a flight risk. Like in the airport with shades on and a hoodie over his head and all, and cats like wearing a burqa or something. Anyway, what are your thoughts on that?
He's wearing a full, trench coat, mask. Yeah, definitely have the mask. Dark sunglasses and a hat. And he walks around trying to be normal, though it's clearly not normal. Yes, I believe you'll note I have a different name. It's not my official name. I called that in. Yes. Okay, I see someone's for Phil. No. Don't say that name. Say my separate name, please. Oh, okay, this is you, John Doe. Yes, okay, yes, we have your tickets right here, sir. You're going to Connecticut. Okay, 2 days. Wow. That's pretty short, actually. Yep, just going for 2 days. Just want to see my parents real quick, All right, I'll stop. Let's go.
In addition, we had some stuff going on over here with reading and all these
Call me something else. John Ramdo.
plants. In fact, this, I didn't even know this because I usually don't come out here. This is more Leanna's thing. This shrub had overgrown into our exhaust. This is the exhaust for the fireplace. Now, right now, we're not using it.
Okay, that shows what you're dealing with, guys.
Overgrown into our exhaust.
This shows what you're dealing with in terms of home maintenance, all right? So they let that grow over that thing, which is very bad to do. Just welcomes bugs. Here's your bridge into the house. Go ahead. So that shows what you're dealing with when it comes to home maintenance.
Here, this is more Leanna's thing. This shrub had overgrown into our exhaust. This is the exhaust for the fireplace. Now, right now, we're not using it, but if in the winter, if this thing was in there and we turned it on, the whole thing could have went on fire. My parents noticed that, thank God. So they came out here and they weeded, and they also bought this really heavy-duty Roundup weed killer, which I didn't know what the good stuff was. They got it, they sprayed everything, they showed me how to use it. They said, come on.
Ignorance and kind of ignorance is bliss there. You hear that? I didn't know what's good. What works? Just buy one and try it. The Walmart brand works for me. Go for it. Hear that? I don't know what works. What am I supposed to do? 34 years old, Mr. Extravagant.
I'm out here, a couple times during the summer and spray all that stuff and make sure it's
35 years old, excuse me.
And that's what I'm going to do. In fact, already, look, they already sprayed. And look, already there's sprouts. Look. That's a freaking new one. They just sprayed.
What are you going to do?
And there's already a new one.
What are you going to do about that?
So probably a couple times a month I'll be out here spraying with the weed killer. But pretty nice. Take a look what they did. We didn't have any of it. They bought us, a few cheap things. And they were sitting out here all week doing stuff. They were sitting out here. My mom smoked. She was having cigarettes out here. They were having drinks. Which is funny because it rains a lot here in Washington. They just happened to be here at a time when it was like hot.
Linda bought a smoking chair. That's kind of funny. You got a chair for me? No. Well, I got to buy one. Need my chair. The pasta maker says when he gets back, he now has a new excuse to drop games. Well, guys, the interest is gone in this game because I was gone. Guess it's Q&A from now on. Yeah. He's going to try to continue shit? Big ups to pasta maker. Smokers do have a chair, though. That's definitely a thing. A smoker's chair, Smoker's chair. It's very important. It's very important to the whole thing, the whole ceremony of the thing. You got to have your chair. Yeah, so you can see what the landscapers work on. It's behind the fence here because Philip is right up against two other people, as you can see. So the landscapers got to cut the stuff behind there. That's the only thing landscapers do.
Hot and sunny for a few days. So that was nice of them. They cleaned a lot up. They helped us out.
So this does beg a question. Where do the woodland critters come into play here? Because that looks like a fence.
They taught me a lot of stuff about painting Leanna's office, about the garden out here. We're not really garden, but the stuff out here with the weeds, stuff that I don't know. Because I used to live with them. They did all of that. And then, when I lived in the condo in Connecticut, it didn't have a...
Oh, what's the situation over here?
They did all of that. And then, when I lived in the condo in Connecticut...
What's going on here? They got a random rug, new rug.
It didn't have a backyard. I just had a back deck where I didn't have any of this. So I didn't have the knowledge to really...
Oh my God, you still have a back deck. And it's not knowledge, it's just spraying weeds?
I had a back deck where I didn't have any of this. So I didn't have the knowledge to really, know any of that kind of stuff. And it was awesome that they spent the time to come out and,
He thinks that's a yard that needs maintenance. You need knowledge to take care of that, what you're looking at. 2 foot by 6 foot patch of not grass, Soup GG. That's harder. This is a concrete.
I took the time off of work to do stuff with them and learn all of that. So it was a pretty awesome week. So, overall, outside of that, the house is the same pretty much. The only other thing that we actually did was my giant Blu-ray collection, right? The only other...
Well, now it's starting to be a little bit embarrassed about that collection yet, or not yet?
We actually did was my giant...
All right, so let's just real quick. I always teased about doing a stream where we try to figure out how much you had. So let's just do a rough one right now, okay? Rough style. So there's how many stacks here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Blu-ray collection, right?
8 full stacks, and we have one on the left.
We actually did was my giant...
All right, so yeah, okay. So let's just try to get an eyeball here. So how many to a stack do you think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm 10 at this point right here. So that's easily 50? Yeah, 50? I think 50's safe. Right? Or I could just do ChatGPT and cheat. They can guess that kind of stuff. Let's see. Let's see what they say. How many Blu-rays are here. Let's see what they say. Oh, fuck off. So they say there are 10 vertical racks visible. Each rack appears to have different shelves, blah, 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 blah. So the estimated total here is around 450 to 550 Blu-rays. If they are costed at, let's say, $5 each. Now, that $5 each, that would be a fuck ton of money just at $5. But he does buy new ones, and he does buy cheap ones. So, Jesus Christ.
Blu-ray collection, right? The only other thing that we did was that here in the living room, I always sit on this cushion of the sectional couch. Always. And I kind of spread my legs out so it's relaxing, right? But what happened was this cushion, after 2 years of doing that every day, got flat. You know, because I'm sitting on it every day. Of course it's going to get flat. So what we did, my dad and I rotated. We lifted this cushion up onto the stair here, got it out of the way, pushed it back.
Oh my God.
Rotated them around, and we cleaned all under the couch. And so now this cushion is actually what cushion was here, and it's never been used. I never sat there. I always sit here. So this cushion now is like sitting on a brand new couch, which is pretty awesome.
Man, his dad's a genius.
So overall, it was a good visit.
Definitely need Dad for that too, by the way.
I was happy to see my parents. You know, got to catch up with them.
That's not something you could do alone.
Talk with them a little bit about stuff going on back home with other relatives and stuff. And we went to dinner a lot of times. If you didn't check it out, it's if you check out my Instagram, which is instagram.com/they call me DSP,
go ahead.
you can actually see a lot of pictures that I put up there. Of the food and stuff that we ate. In fact, in my fridge right now, something we're going to eat later this week, we got leftover lasagna.
Oh, please, show.
From my mom, if I can find it here.
Oh, this definitely adds to the video.
Lasagna.
Oh, got a great shot. Who wants to see leftovers in Tupperware, man?
2 giant chunks. We got 4 more chunks frozen in the refrigerator, the freezer that we're going to thaw.
Great science experiment you got going there. I think it should start sporing soon.
Eat later this month too. Oh man, it was a good visit. I love when my mom visits because she always cooks too. She cooks good stuff that I'm not good at cooking. So,
cook, cleaning, teaching. It's like he's a child again.
That's it. A quick recap of the stuff that we did during the week when I was not around. Hope you enjoyed it.
Very fun. So that's how he handles when his parents visit. You can see all the busy work they had to do to take care of their boy. Joe Max says, Phil went into hiding due to off-chance public pressure will force DOJ to release Epstein list. What if Philip's on the list? Oh, it's all making sense. Big ups, Joe Max. Dissension says, Phil fell down the stairs and exploded. Kat is performing kintsugi with leftover tea parts in Japan secretly. She broke a vacuum, but he'll be okay. Thank you, Dissension, for that trip. Here we go. Iwamoto says, Phil was recruited like in the last Starfighter. Someone's going to get this that has seen Starfighter. I, unfortunately, am not that person. But it is appreciated. That's for sure. Ramen Brahman says, Theo Theory, the 10-year plan was actually a curse. He is not dead, just unable to lie. Big ups to everyone who is starving without the guy. That's the thing. None of us are. None of us are. But yes, I'm going to have to hit it for you. And I prepared a short and quick lore stream for lore dive for us here. It's not a big one. Very mini. And it's going to be for Karening out on Twitter. So I was looking for something, silly to show like I do. And I found this one, which I thought is interesting. So I was trying to see when DSP has talked about maybe HOA or things like this on Twitter. And somehow it led me to this tweet. Okay, so to start with this one. It is, let me see my Twitter view here. Oh, didn't turn on Twitter view. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Now you should be able to see it closer. Okay, so Optimum Help messages Philip. After Philip messages them, Optimum Help is, I guess, his internet provider in Connecticut at this point, and says, if you refuse to have a tech come out, we're unable to fix this issue. In order to resolve this, we must send out a tech from JP. DSP responds and says this. So this is optimum help support. Force a tech home visit when the last tech determined probably is in the basement, not the home unit. Great. Home tech does not respond. DSP does respond again, though, and say, optimum help, either escalate this issue to management, as obviously you can't help, or don't bother tweeting me anymore. Thanks. Look at this big shot. He's a tough guy. Watch out. You do not want to get in trouble with this guy. Clearly. Optimum help did not respond. Shadow Slammer says, I got caught up in the bodybuilding saga, so my theory is that Kat requested uppies from Phil. Him and his false confidence obliged. One of them or both of them are in the hospital. Uppies? I didn't think I'd see her uppies today, but that would be something. Uppies. Injured might know more about uppies. Do you have any uppie tips for us out there? How do we use uppies? All right. Papa Polecat has a, you know, I'm going to allow this, a follow-up. It's under a minute. I'm going to allow this, Papa Polecat. Here you go. Oh, hit the mic on. Got to turn the mic on. There we go.
Here's my follow-up. What I think is actually happening.
Go ahead.
Is it has to be something with the HOA or Team Health. I think Logan cracked it when the fire alarm people came by to investigate his fire alarms. They noticed a lot of stuff going on in his house. They reported it back to the HOA, and in their report for the inspection, they had to investigate. Or it has something to do with Kat. Philip doesn't wake up at 8 a.m. You know who does? Kat. Kat woke up at 8 a.m. on Monday, said, hey, dude, you suck. I'm out. Or, hey, dude, I can't breathe. Take me to the hospital. And that's what's happening. Big ups. Hugs and kisses.
Big ups, Papa Polecat. And that is a good point. The timing of that could definitely be a Catherine waking up timeline as well. So it's not 100%. Just because it was 8 a.m. Washington does not mean that it was 100% in Connecticut. Because Catherine does wake up then. And something could happen, right? And then she has to tell him, right? But breaking news, I have visual. I have an image here. Someone was at the airport and has taken a picture, and I think we want to analyze this. Some people are saying they might have seen Darkside Phil and Kat Burnell at the airport. Hang on to your butts. I don't know. Is that them? What do you think? I don't know. Something about the chin on the left doesn't look like him. Not sure. Could be. Could be. This was at the Seattle airport earlier today. So, I don't know. I don't want to share too many conspiracy theories on the show, but I think this is too normal. Yeah, that's my thought too. Philip would not be this coordinated. He would be way more out of place than that. Mr. Gorehouse says, super crazy finally got Phil served. It's happening. Okay, easy. Jordan Fadeaway says, Italian ice. Oh, Italian ice. No, Murph. No. Italian ice. No. Put it down. Put it in the kitchen. Put it in the kitchen. No. Boat Knight says, do we know anything? Any intel? Is Phil dead? We know zero. The only thing we know is what he shared. That's why the speculation is out of control. And when it's most fun, by the way. Chio says, wild theory, piggybacking off the Kaching mention, Phil saw Brooke dressed as Panda and is obsessed with her now. On the road to get her. That's when I can get behind. Unfortunately, Philip is, according to some people,
he's gay!
So that wouldn't be the case. But... and plus, Brooke is literally in Argentina. So that'd be a little weird. That would be a beautiful ending to the story, though, wouldn't it? He went to Argentina and had to use Argentinian bucks to find Brooke. Oh, yeah, she's already back. That's true. Nicholas Baxter says, Roundup had a huge lawsuit. LOL. It made people sick. Oh, the fucking weed killer? Nice. That's what Linda recommends. Okay, more Karening out. Just small shit. Don't expect any true gold dust here. But we're still having fun, so we'll keep it going here. This is Fresh OJ. This is OJ, the guy that played Mario in Project 7. He said this about a elevator. Philip responded and said, "Fuck that. Complain to hotel management immediately. Don't let MagFest happen all over again." So he's joking, but it is in the top of mind to complain to hotel management right away, right? That's, Next up, we're going chronologically here, still 2013. After Xbox One has a release date of November 22nd in the USA, 1 week after PS4, as in major disadvantage, good job, management team. That seems pretty stupid, but okay, there we go. Okay, anyways, who cares? Who fucking cares? Not even analyzing that. This was a funny one for me. Financial investment used to be all the rage. I recommend burying your money in the desert. All you have to do is dig to get to it. So Philip considering financial investment to be a fad of some sort, which could be all the rage, or it's not. It's something that it's a fad. It'll run its course, obviously. And there is a famous responder here. Some people will know, a lot of people won't, but some people will definitely know. I guarantee it. Elgin Intensity responds to DSP Gaming and says, "Actually, Panda Ladyboy does the digging." Says Elgin Intensity. It was a very big YouTube channel. I thought it was funny. Panda Ladyboy from Elgin Intensity. Trapzilla in the house here. He has some funny stuff. You should check it out. Stephen Kingsley. Stephen King, I see around here from time to time. Stephen Kingsley says like Walter White, though. Who's that? That's when Panda Lee was not well liked, I guess. Yeah, Trapsius Clay, all these trap names, Okay, this was funny. Then again, maybe Blip would have gotten attention if the management weren't so incredibly dumb to believe a few troll emails. Just saying. So I wanted to bring this one up because think about this. Troll emails. And what do those troll emails include, you might ask? Well, they include the link to the stream in which Philip said those things. So, not really troll videos when they're showing the content that was done on Blip. They said, "That salt, they kicked you because you are racist. Good job, Philip." Other people are giving the exact... the fucking exact thing. Sorry, but I had to come into chat and say this. The reason why Phil was kicked off Blip was because his Dead Space 2 playthrough was incredibly offensive with racist Nazi jokes. And what happens? DSP Gaming has kicked Brah from the King of Hate. Bring up the truth, get banned. It always happens. Bring up the truth, get that ass banned. No time for that nonsense. Hate Army says, "Look at Unk using his indoor voice outdoors and outdoor voice indoors. Thank God his parents saved him from dying a fiery death from overgrown flora." His outdoor voice is funny because he doesn't want people to, he's trying to be quiet outside. "Okay, well, I'm outside now, and we're looking here over the green here. As you can see, my parents did do the weeding here. They told me the correct weeder to use. I didn't know. I didn't have the knowledge. Here, I don't know why it's turning into a golf thing. Now we turn to the fireplace. And it looks like my parents found out that this was overgrown. There was a huge ant bridge that was created, but we took care of that as well. We'll see what happens on 2018. I'll stop. Putty!
Just a quick thought. We haven't seen Fantastic Mr. Sam in a while. Maybe he's finished his project and this is the result? Perhaps?
What? It was Sam the whole time. It was Sam the whole time. What the We can't go that deep yet. Midnight Meme says, I'm going with Cat is feeding him mac and cheese. DSP chained to the bed misery style. God. See, it's a good thing this is the last one of these for the day. And I mean, for the week. And then tomorrow we have that being said to bring a little bit more sanity back, review everything. Because we're getting crazier and crazier, I think, as the week goes. But it's still fun. It has not stopped being fun, I'll tell you that. This is 2020, fast forwarding a few years. Official response of Twitch support for my request for a new partner manager after waiting 14 days. Sorry, we don't have any available now. And they wouldn't even help you with a false DMCA anyway. To say this company has lost some quality in my eyes is a vast understatement. Okay, find someone who cares. Oh, that's still our answer, bitch boy. That's what Twitch says. Great. After 14 days. My Epic Journey chiming in and says, this will be nothing interesting. Do we forget the I Was Robbed story? But that in itself was interesting because how stupid it was. Like, I don't think anyone considers, well, I was going to say something stupid, wasn't I? I don't consider the stolen grocery bags a nothing burger because it's so stupid that it was very funny, if that makes sense. There is a world where nothing burgers go so hard into nothingness that they do turn back into interest. You know what I mean? So, like, if something is nothing so much that it's so ridiculous that he's making stories about it, it's still kind of interesting. The stolen tire was interesting, right? Warren says, OIC finally came to collect. That's not the first time we've heard of this theory. Big ups, Warren. I still got to hit it, though. Nicholas Baxter says, a little under 500. Yeah, for DVDs, a little under 500 DVDs. Can you imagine having 500, Blu-rays? Holy shit, man. Leriava says, I bet his parents tell people they're proud their special needs son manages to live independently despite his cognitive challenges. Not hitting any buzzer. Big ups, Leriava. And here's one. One of the most famous examples of Karening out. And here it is. It's not shocking to hear that Burger King is tanking. Their food quality has plummeted. Remember my chicken sandwich horror from September? While their customer service is terrible, if a franchise owner ignores a complaint, they ghost you and do nothing to help. Pathetic. Pathetic. Right. Definitely, Philip. Good Karening out there, though. That definitely was good. Definitely worth it and good. Oh, wrong thing. Oop, not there. Oop, not that. Oop, not that. Where'd I put it? Oh, God. I moved it. All right, let's go to Anonymous. Few more here, then we're going to end up. Wow,
okay,
we're going 3 hours.
Here's my theory.
Go ahead, Anonymous.
What if Kat had, like, a mental breakdown? We all know DSP wears women down until they have breakdowns, so what if Kat had a complete meltdown after that whole mac and cheese 4th of July fiasco marathon, and DSP is hiding it because he publicized the last time it happened, so he's overcompensating for the original hospital incident. That's my theory. ALT is old.
Oh, come on! You were doing so well! Get off my show! Here's the thing, though. That was a good theory, though, all the way through to the end. Because it is interesting that, obviously, that if there was a breakdown to happen, it could happen about your husband saying that your food is bad, right? But it's a long shot. But I'm not going to buzz you, okay? Not going to buzz you. Can we hyperfixate on Duty's tweet? I want your opinion. Well, you got a 33% chance of seeing it, Vikes. If this random Vikes is anything other than the sad Vikes, I will look at it. If it is sad, I will not look at it. Here we go. It's all on you, Vikes. Pushing the button now. 33% chance. These are equal odds of every picture. 3, 2, 1. Son of a bitch. All right, let's look at it. Decided by Vikes. Whenever you have to decide it, we go to Vikes and he decides. So he does. Scamming and deciding. That's what he does. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. DSP is okay. That's the DSP is in Connecticut. Visits parents. He recently received in the mail. Don't ask how I know. I just know. I'll be back on Friday. I don't know. Don't know where this is from. Don't know what this is. Don't know if this is. I don't know. I treat this as foolishness until otherwise. I don't know. I'll treat that as foolishness until it's proven otherwise. I'll keep in the speculative world. It's more fun in the speculative world right now. But yeah. Okay, let's go to Sir Not That Deep.
Big ups ALC. No new conspiracy style theories right now. I still think it's all Connecticut related. I just wanted to ask, how does he manage to always drown his living space in garbage in such a frighteningly short amount of time every single time?
Well, that's because he needs to buy things. It's pretty simple. He has to buy stuff, and he can't stop buying. So there we go. Once you buy, you can't stop. Once you begin buying, you never can stop buying. All right, big ups. Here's someone you might know.
Hello, young man.
Thank you.
I'm going back to my theory before any of us saw Kat for years. She's dead, and Phil is picking pieces out of the garbage disposal. Bye. Love you.
Oh, my God. Look at this. Best call. Look at this. You guys are coping. Dissension says, pick Laurel and Hardy's cousins, Phillips and Hefty. Dissension is saying something that maybe people would know, but I won't. I don't recognize it, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Nick SF says, some menagerie lore. I always am up for menagerie lore. That is for sure. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 Part 19. Okay, done. You've said enough. I'm doing it. Once you go this level of hyperfixating, I'm in. All right, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, Part 19, timestamp 3140. We're in. Let's go. Yes. DSP, Flight Sim. I love menagerie lore. 19. Oh, it's going to be like, here we go. Got it. Part 19. Let's go. 3140.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my weekly session.
Here we go.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Here we go.
Connecticut tonight.
Here we go. Nick SF on the line. Lifetime contract on the line. 2000 what? Oh, 2024. God damn it. Not my fault. Not my fault. That was a YouTube issue, as you can clearly see. YouTube not telling me the right place to go. How many times we play how many Part 19s do we fucking have? All right, I found it. Part 1. Oh, give me Part 19. Okay, 3 years ago, Singapore. Oh my God. Does he say P19 for this one? God. Oh my God, I'm going to Minecraft. Here we go. Hold on. Microsoft Flight Sim 19 2025. Oh my God, get off my show! I said Slight Slim. That's why I fucked it up. Slight Slim. That was not my fault, Linda. You're fine. But it does not want to show me Part 19 at all from 3 years ago. From this time. Oh my God, I'm going playlists. All right, we've gone too long. But I will find it now. Now it's my white whale. My Moby Dick is finding this clip now. And let me tell you, the stakes of your lifetime contract are getting all the more strict. All right,
They didn't actually do it. Like, there's no...
Found it, finally, playlist. This is why you shouldn't upload 18 mil... Oh my God, guys, look. The last video in the playlist is part 17. You've got to be kidding me. That's the last video in the playlist. All right, I'll search with that now. Oh my God. If this is a troll, Nick SF, let me tell you, if this is a troll, it is the most beautifully executed troll that I've ever had against me on WPIG, and you will be a king forever. Because this is how you troll someone, where you have their interest looking for something online, by the way. Nick SF is telling you how to do it. You give them something very specific, which is very believable as well. But yet, doesn't quite get there. Can someone link it to me? I give up. I give up. Part 9, Part 8. I'm done. I give up. You have bested me, Nick SF. And oh, you shall never be seen again around these parts until someone has sent it to me. They go by the name of Broside Phil. You're safe. Big ups, Broside Phil. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my weekly session.
Thank God. I was about to rage quit the whole stream, so we're saved. So I won't crush any gems.
Mount Everest.
No gems crushed.
Fort Williams. Everest. Galactic Reptile says, Yosemite, I went there a few months ago. The granite outcroppings are breathtaking. No.
Oh my God. This is the same one. Broside Phil said the same one too. Oh my God. I'm going to lose it. I am going to lose it. Broside, how could you? Are you in on this? Are you teaming up with Nick? If you teamed up with Nick, we'd have some real problems. All right, let's move on positively here. Let's just try to, I'm going to play a message, and I'm going to look for it myself, and we're going to come back. Okay? We're going to listen to a message. I'm going to come back. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. So I've been following Phil for 12, 13 years, something like that. And this is obviously the longest he's been offline.
Yes.
So it has to be something serious. It's obviously not a nothing burger. I'm also not sure about the HOA thing because whatever it is, it's something that Phil cannot use for pity bucks. Because if it were something that he could blame somebody else for, that he could somehow turn around to make him look good, he would do it. So it's something that is going to make him look bad, that he can't use for pity bucks, and that's why he's not telling anyone. Health related, I don't know. Maybe Kat, maybe the parents. I mean, the 2-day absence, like the Saturday-Sunday thing was kind of weird already, but yeah, I give him that, a long weekend. But it's clearly something important. It's no nothing burgers this time. Sorry, guys, but there's something going on here. And whatever it is, it's entertaining for all of us, right? So, yeah, there's that.
Big ups, Tina. Big ups. Great call. Great. You did everything correct. Nothing wrong. And some people are saying it's ladies' night on WPIG. Joke's on you. It's always been ladies' night. Forever. That's how this station rolls. Nick SF is here. Look at this, Nick SF. Trying to save his life by saying it's part 15. All right. Listen. I'll give you another shot. You trolled me this far. You earned this shot. But if this is a troll as well,
they didn't actually do it.
Then we're going to see the wild come out. We're going to go to part 15. And also, you lied about the date? Come on. I know this is a fucking troll, but I'm going to entertain it anyway.
All right.
I'll entertain it, but I know this is a troll.
Hey, everybody,
3140.
we're back, and I'm recovering from that.
3140.
The reason apart. And what you do is you walk back here, and
Ready?
this is a dog walk part.
Here we
right
go.
Here. And I tell you guys all the time how from the back of my house, we have greenery, trees, and wildlife. This is it. There's a forest back here full of animals.
Thank Nick SF coming through. Nick SF coming through. He was not lying and he was not trolling. He is a king. Sorry, Nick SF.
Talking squirrels, rabbits, dozens of kinds of birds, frogs. They all live back here, which is amazing. You hear all kinds of wildlife. And what we do, so this is the dog walk part, which is funny because they actually grew grass here. Okay.
They grew grass here? You know, it's a game, right?
You can walk dogs and play with animals and stuff here. This would be my backyard because we have 3 backyards. On my left, my neighbors, me, and my right neighbors. And there's a fence there, so there's like a ditch between us.
Yeah.
But you get a perfect view of this forest with all these wildlife in it. And what we do is we put nuts and snacks out, like bowls of nuts or snacks, and then all the creatures come.
Oh my God. Can you imagine the neighbors? This is absolutely not allowed. Like, you really can't do that. I know that's my HOA has a hardcore rule about feeding the fucking geese because they go fucking nuts. Because if you feed a goose once, it says, all right, well, bitch, I'm coming tomorrow, and if it's not here, I'm going to be ornery. It's definitely not allowed because animals just say, all right, fuck it. We don't got to search for any food. They're feeding us every fucking day.
Come and visit us in the backyard. Squirrels. We've had possums. We've had, like I said, tons of different kinds of birds, including northern flickers.
Northern flickers?
Stellar's jays. All kinds of finches and stuff like that. All come and eat the seed and the nuts that we put in our backyard. And now we even get there's a cat that comes by and visits us. It's just an outdoor cat that's like doesn't have an owner.
What?
He comes and visits us here.
He eats the birds.
So yeah, there you go. That's my backyard. So it's small, it's enclosed with a fence, but we get a giant, awesome view of these woods with all these cool creatures in them. Really nice.
Oh, Stellar's Jays came up during bird court. Oh, cool. Nice. Oh, we did that earlier, Rebsy. And no, he is not. It's still just Dunsfelter and the other guy. He has not banned anyone since Konichiwa Chu. It's the last ban on the list. So there you go. Nick SF, fully exonerated, and lifetime contract has been signed. Congratulations. BR Joe says, Dave and Kat rocking Porco Rosso's look. I used that thumbnail, Porco Rosso, before. I thought it was kind of works. My Epic Journey 73 says, I must be right. I didn't get the buzzer. Yeah, if you didn't get the buzzer, that means you're not wrong. Buzzer just means you're wrong, right? Everything else, you know. Anonymous, go.
OIC has entered the Snowfort. OIC has entered the Snowfort. Alert, 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 alert.
The OIC thing is not dying. That's an anonymous take. I'm going to buzzer that one, but you know, still appreciated it. Third Eye the Third in the house says, in Mexico, in an all-inclusive right now, gin in hand, comes back and blames the tan on white balance due to setup inactivity. The word tan becomes banned. All right. I got to hit it. But that's funny nonetheless. And remember, what's the thing about Ethan Ralph we learned yesterday? Whatever. Condoms are expensive now or something. That's still the dumbest tweet of all time. When did condoms get so expensive? I'm definitely getting laid, guys. Anyways. Mr. Matt said, did you see the duty tweet where Phil got luggage? Yeah, I saw that, but not, just considering it, not adding that to the evidence, let's say. I'm not adding that to my personal mental evidence that we have to speculate on. That's my take. Everyone can have their own takes, though, and do whatever else they want. J. Mike says, this is pointless. He will never tell the truth. Great point, J. Mike. Great point, J. Mike. NW News says, just thinking about an outdoor cat coming to eat Phil's nuts behind his house is sending me. Outdoor cat. That's what he said, the outdoor cat. Big ups, NWO News. Let's go for the anonymous again. A different anonymous. So many anonymous.
Hey, fellow detractors. My theory, Dave and Ket are both in the hospital because Ket is giving birth to a new baby, which is either Dave's or Tyrone's. Enjoy the show. Thank you. Bye.
If you're hoping for something that incredible, I think you might get disappointed, but it would be funny nonetheless. All right. But anyways, what a show it's been, guys. Wow, 3 hours we did today of speculation, hyperfixating, and we had more fun than we did yesterday. If you can believe it, these shows go fast as shit for me, and I hope they do as well for you. He can never come back. We'll still be fine, all right? I promise you that. We'll be having fun no matter what. So we will see you tomorrow, though, for That Being Said version of Speculating and Hyperfixating. And we will do a That Being Said stream on WPIG. So that means 5 hours of the songs and 5 hours of the videos to get you ready for That Being Said. So big day tomorrow. We'll see you then. It's a little bit earlier, by the way. When I say Meerkat said he could do this time, let me see it real quick. It is 6 p.m. CEST. 6 p.m. CEST. And you make that to EST, and that is, I believe, noon. So earlier start tomorrow. Noon tomorrow. All right, everybody? You're all fucking legends, and don't you fucking forget it. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye.